Hello, everyone, and welcome to Weekly Manga Recap, February the 15th of 2018. I am Nick. This is Chris. This is Matt.
Hi.
We are Mangaholics, I think.
Unfortunately. Well, I think it's kind of obvious with my room. Your guys' rooms are kind of debatable, but...
I'm a Captain America fan.
I can see that, yeah. You're a Blank Wall fan, Nick? I like the Blank Walls. Good band.
I'm too lazy to decorate, you have to understand.
Understandable, yes.
Nicole keeps telling me, like, we need to get you, like, some posters or frames or something. I'm like,
Did you get... Are you living somewhere different from the last time I was on the show?
Yes, I am.
Because...
I moved in October, so...
Oh, okay. I'm up to date then. I'm only, like, 5 months out. We're good.
Yeah. Guys... We have a Valentine's Day episode. And we have our Valentine's Day date with Tekking101 here.
I finally got a date. First time in my life. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
We're all manga Valentines together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing lame about that. Nick, we're all going to send hearts to one another.
Yes.
Send it.
Come on.
Sailor Moon Love Beam. Was there a Love Beam in Sailor Moon? Probably.
There was one in Universe 3
I'm
and Super.
doing it under the camera, guys.
Okay.
Ew. Nick, that's disgusting. This is the love holiday. Steak and blowjobs day isn't until March.
Yeah, that's White Day. Right?
Nobody has sexy traditions on Valentine's Day.
Hey,
Nobody.
The sexiest movie out right now, Nick, is all about that.
Yeah, my boss went to go see it. Yeah.
What?
Your boss went to go see Peter Rabbit?
Peter Rabbit, yeah, that was
the sexiest movie of this season right now. He's got just a little jacket on and nothing else.
My middle-aged housewife of a boss is into Peter Rabbit. She's really into that. Not 50 Shades Free.
Freaking no.
She's like, off to go see Peter Rabbit. Why are you bringing just one cucumber along with you? It's my movie theater snack.
Oh, it's because, you bring vegetables to the rabbit movie.
Yeah, because that's what rabbits would eat. Get out of here.
With that.
Peter Rabbit didn't just eat the carrots; he ate the guy's potatoes too.
Dude, you just brought up a traumatic memory. I was a bird in the play of Peter Rabbit in first grade. I remember
there were birds and Peter Rabbits.
There were. I remember wearing a bird outfit. I think that was Peter.
You're like, I remember being a bird at one point. Or maybe I played Falco a lot in Smash Brothers. One of the two.
I was Captain Falcon a lot on F-Zero. Maybe that was it.
That makes sense.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, talk about manga tonight. Yeah, I wanted to join tonight because a lot of the series right now I'm really getting, like Dr. Stone particularly and Promised Neverland, I think are really getting good. So like, ooh, I want to talk about these. I don't normally talk about those. So I'm like, I want to do a podcast. I'm like, well, I know those guys that I was on a few times before that they talk about that kind of stuff. So thanks for having me back.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. That's the true gift of this season.
Yes, of the season.
Nick, I know there's no love in your cold black heart, but just try to humor us for a little bit.
I have a girlfriend.
Yes, but you hate dogs and children and good food. I assume there's just no joy in your heart.
What is this nonsense? Okay, well,
I also don't like chocolates, so yeah.
Oh yeah, you probably don't like flowers, the color red,
really.
February.
Crap.
Not a very great month.
I mean, there's a reason it's the shortest out of all the months. February is
Who the fuck made that decision anyway?
No, I have the same
day needs to be longer, and this
the same answer as pretty much everything else in the history of forever. A bunch of old white dudes.
Wow.
That's pretty much the answer to it.
I think it was probably a bunch of old Roman dudes, particularly.
Maybe. I don't know.
So wait, Calendar Man wasn't responsible for it?
Calendar Man!
I assume he made the calendar.
July Punch!
Ugh. You have an interesting impression of who Calendar Man is.
You made him a lot cooler than he actually is.
December roundhouse kick.
Can you solve my mystery related to a particular day of the... Yes.
Like, essentially,
it's a day that you celebrate Tree Arbor Day. Crap. When is it held?
Batman became the world's greatest detective because he just has a shitty, annoying rogues gallery that makes him solve really stupid problems. Like, it's just like, what happens at noon but not 2? And it's just like, oh, God damn it, Riddler's going to make me figure out some stupid bullshit.
What is black and white and red all over? Nah, dang it, Riddler. Why are you doing this to me?
These puns are so terrible. I fucking hate you.
The Riddler is probably one of my favorite Batman villains, though. I don't know. I just like the design. I mean, you have a giant question mark on your outfit. You're immediately cool, in my opinion. When we did that Bleach quiz a while back, and I made that little cover for it, I made Chris the Riddler there. That was fun.
I appreciate that, too.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's talk about manga. We're super...
Okay, yeah, that's good.
We don't have any more tangents we want to go on? I mean, come on. We only went on 5.
We'll find them along the way.
Okay.
I will limit them to only 3 more, because I do that a lot. All right. So My Hero, then?
My Hero Academia is what we're going to start with. We just kind of come down from another little mini arc and are starting up probably another short one. I can't imagine that this villain is going to have his Chisaki length arc, but I don't know. It surprised me before. Chapter number 170 with Eri. Where's my Jiro arc? It was explicitly implied last chapter that this arc would be about Jiro.
Just give it like 2 chapters, man. Then you can complain.
No,
I hope
we need to see the little girl.
I hope it happens off screen, and we just go back, and Jiro's like playing on a guitar, and everyone's like, "I'm so glad Jiro's happy." And then they move on to fighting this fucking Mysterio dude, and Nick's just sitting there like, "No!"
They skipped right to the end of Jiro's rock concert. Wow, it was awesome. You set that whole thing up, Jiro.
You're so good.
You did that thing with the thing.
You changed so much as a person, and we're so proud of you.
Thanks, guys. That just cuts off.
Halfway through her speech bubble, it just turns the page.
It wasn't really me. It was all about...
The true rock music was the friends we made along the... God.
That's bullshit!
There's like 20 main characters. It's hard to balance all of them, but I do like Jiro.
Champion level subscribers, check out our best Christmas ever bonus episode. So we open up this chapter with Mirio and Deku going to visit Eri in her hospital room before immediately getting a flashback explanation where a number of the 1A students were in a supplementary classroom discussing, like, oh yeah, Eri says that she wants to talk to Midoriya and Tagada. It's the first request she's made since she's been admitted. I want to note one thing. So you see the 5 students that are in this supplementary classroom. So yes. you've got the 4 that were involved in the Shiya Hasakai thing. So yeah. Naruraka and Tsuyu and Kirishima. Why is Tokoyami there?
Because Tokoyami's cool and you will not regret
it. But he wasn't involved in it. Why
yes, he was, Nick. He was busy feasting on the banquet of eternal darkness in the side.
Maybe he was just like too busy like setting up his stupid edgelord bedroom.
Nick, he was
like, I forgot to study.
Nick, he was in every chapter. That shadow along the world, Tokoyami.
They're like drawing the chapter, and they're like, well, Tokoyami's popularity's taken off. I just need to throw him in there. Yeah.
I think that like in little moments, like, you know, when you had Sun Eater having his 3-on-1 stand, or when Kirishima and Fat Gum had their battle against Rappa and Shield Guy, like, there was just one tiny little panel that we were missing that was just like Tokoyami was there too.
Yeah, he was there and he took out a bunch of people. Whatever, not a big deal.
So, we get a little bit of catching up on the condition of Eri, because one of the nurses is like, I don't know, should she see people? Should she be conscious? I don't know. And doctor's like, it's fine. Look at how small her horn is. Very helpful, the manifest that way, so they can just be like, no, it's fine, look.
Yeah. It's a gauge.
She's got a little pimple. Let's just pop that off.
Little pebbles.
I'm sure nothing bad could come from that.
Nothing bad can come from horns. By the way, did you ever see Elfin Lead? Not a big deal. All right.
Take the horn off. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Just rip it off, yeah.
Mirio has brought her a fruit basket. He thinks she likes peaches.
Because she's a peach.
Yeah. I don't know. When I saw that, I was just kind of like, God damn it. I can't read anything mentioning peaches in manga without thinking of that one chapter of Bleach.
Rukia's butt.
Yeah, grass.
Okay.
It's like a peach. God damn it.
You ruined peaches for me. I mean, I hate peaches, but you ruined them for me.
All right, guys.
Peaches.
I'm gonna. You just ruined. I can't keep a train of thought straight for the rest of the podcast, so that's just.
He's like, great. Rukia's butt's gonna be on my mind all day now again.
I just got rid of it. Dang. All right.
Apparently, Eri likes apples, though.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
What body part are apples like?
Butts.
What?
Yeah.
No, they're not like butts.
Bottom jeans.
I thought that was about the bottom of the gene, though. Like,
No!
See, I mean, I was gonna say Adam's.
That
apple.
was
It's like
the naive one.
That would be the more logical way. Like you're playing Operation. Like get out his Adam's apple
Yeah.
for $200.
Nick's got this filthy.
You guys.
Nick has this filthy version of Operation where all the pieces are in the butt. It's just like you need to get her apple bottom jeans out.
Oh, he was
and her badonkadonk.
He was crushed by a hydraulic press. All of his organs got smushed into his butt. We need to operate immediately.
It's a giant operation board, but all the pieces are just in the ass.
I was actually playing that the other day, and I thought, you know what? If this game was played with a female instead of a male, this would just an entirely different game immediately.
Oh my gosh, she doesn't have a heart. Very accurate. Boom.
Yeah.
Take that.
Cold shoulder. There you go.
Women roasted. Let's move on, Nick.
Yeah, go.
I can see why you guys needed to send heart beams at each other now.
Take it.
Eri kind of awkwardly brings up, hey, I don't know your name, because I know Lemillion, but who are you? Because I can't really, properly thank you if I don't know your name. And he's like, oh, so no one told you anything.
Yeah,
Okay.
really. That's kind of weird. Like, yeah. I mean, she wasn't speaking, so I guess it makes sense. But hey, nurse, who was that guy that saved me? Oh, I'll look it up. There you go.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm part of Generation Z. Takes out her phone.
Yeah, just
Self research.
Name's probably on Twitter somewhere, I would imagine. Yeah.
No, you don't want to look for Deco online. Never mind.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, no. There's a lot of yaoi from My Hero Academia.
Because they're pretty boys, Nick. What are you talking about? Of course there's a lot of yaoi.
Here. All right. She also brings up, she's sorry that everyone got hurt because of her, including the nice man with glasses. Awkward.
He's fine.
He's fine.
He's doing great. Yeah, he's back at work.
How you doing, Sir Night-Eye? Like a thumb sticks up out of his coffin.
they have his corpse on a marionette strings. Hello, Eri. Nice to see you. Now
like
I'm off to the mall.
Yeah.
Like the arms
like weekend at Bernie's with just throw some glasses on him and just be like, it's great. Yeah.
Some glasses.
Wow, Eri, you sure are getting big. All right, I have to go now.
Knocks over a bunch of stuff on the way out.
Next to the door.
Someone's like, why couldn't I be in the room if I had to puppeteer him? I have to guess where things are. It's just him, like, he's got like a chair wrapped around his head, like, well, now I'm off, Eri.
I'll tell you what, though, that was a perfect.
He's like talking to the dresser.
That would have been the perfect opportunity to have like a little anime shining moment where they look out at the sun and Night-Eye just appears giving the thumbs up, like, it's all right, guys.
Look, Eri, we hung his corpse out the window for you.
Doctor, what's wrong with you?
It's all for the little girl, damn it! Don't crush her dream.
I have terrible bedside manners, but a lot of heart for my patients.
Oh, I take my Hippocratic oath seriously, but my morals, on the other hand, they're
gone.
They're gone. Yeah.
It's not the first time I've grave robbed a corpse outside a little girl's window.
To make a little girl feel better.
I'm not actually sure that this is Sir Night-Eye. I don't know what he actually looked like.
Yeah, I just dug up some old guy, put glasses on him.
My God, we just launched into like a 2-minute tangent, just shitting on Night-Eye. Like,
that's the show. That's all we do.
That's the show. That's the show.
All right. Eri starts to guilt trip herself, also blaming herself for the fact that Lemillion lost his powers. But Mirio just says, "Hey, come on! Nobody thinks it's your fault," and he engages in full demeaning head pat mode. He's like, "It's okay."
The claw.
I've had problems with people doing this in the past. Is it okay because Ari's a very little girl, though?
How old is Eri? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Like 8 or 9, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
So, Chris, do you think that's better or worse than when like Yuiga does it to his students?
Well, there's a different sort of thing too when like it's a romantic return, because then you have to kind of put into.
Well, Chris,
this is more of like a big brother kind of thing ish.
Yeah, and like I got my head scruffed by my brother. I think he also squeezed my head a lot. But
yeah, I never had a brother, so
here have I. I might have to dispute your guys' point though.
Okay.
So Mirio says, "Hey, it's okay. You're just apologizing to people who don't exist at this point. Just cheer up. Let's put a smile on the face."
Yeah.
And Eri tries to smile, and she can't because she doesn't really know how.
You gotta admire the adorable nature of her trying to smile, though. It's like, oh,
yeah. It's like, how do I know the general mechanic of this, but I'm not.
It's like I've seen a couple people do it.
I've seen pictures. Yeah.
Well, a smile is a natural thing.
It is.
So the fact that she doesn't know how to means that she actually forgot an instinctual reaction.
Or Chisake messed with her jaw muscles. There, that's even worse. Sad when I said that.
Smile.
That's really messed up. But possible, but messed up.
Deku realizes as he looks at her, and the fact that she's still tearing up, despite the fact that she's now safe and sound in the hospital, this girl still hasn't really been saved, and he sees the shadow of Chisake still tormenting her. It's very creepy and
it's very creepy. Yeah.
Well, I like it a lot, actually, too, because I like the notion of sort of stating that a person who's been through a traumatic event is not cured and perfect the moment they get out of it. There's a lot of therapy, recovery, emotional baggage that comes with something like that. So I like the idea of kind of touched upon the notion of, like, Ari's not just good now. She needs...
Ari's a child, and certainly you don't recover from that stuff overnight. I'm glad they referenced it. Yeah.
Chisaki's just happy to have arms in this picture.
Yeah. Again, he's like,
my ghost arms will haunt you.
Yeah.
So Deku realizes as long as she's not actually capable of being happy, of having fun, then she's not really saved. And then who should strike inspiration into his heart but cheese mouth stuffing Aoyama?
Da-da-da-da.
That was a nice little detail, honestly. But hey, so there was a point to that little sidebar that we went on then.
Yep. It all comes back around, Nick. Sometimes. So
Deku goes over to Aizawa and says, "Hey, do you think we could get Eri out of the hospital for a day? And if we could, do you think that she would be able to attend the school festival?" And Mirio's like, "Ah!"
Like a little light bulb.
Light bulb moment, and the light bulb bursts.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know what to process that as. Like, he's like, "That's a great idea."
Or he's just really excited, so the light bulb gets like way more voltage it could supply, and it just shatters.
That's a great idea. What is it?
Amazing idea! I love this shit.
I mean, I kind of lost it because my idea has broken, but I'm sure it was a good one.
I'm sure for the
that's right.
Moment.
We should send Eri to the moon. Like, that's not what the idea was. He's like,
I'll take her there.
She'll get to meet the moon bear, and everything will be happy.
Just he doesn't have powers though, so he just tries to hammer toss her.
Yeah.
He's like, "All right, Eri.
Take her to the roof of the hospital. Wait, what is this?
Just pretend you're Wolverine and I'm Colossus.
He's like, "I got this big giant slingshot. I'm gonna send you right to the moon."
Why do you have a giant slingshot?
I have no idea who Colossus is, but he sounds big. So yeah,
he is the biggest. Was that a burp, or was that your imitation of the Colossus sound?
That was a kind of a hybrid one.
Okay.
Mirio says like, oh yeah, there's all sorts of fun stuff to do at a school festival. It's a super fun time for students. There are all sorts of exhibits and performances, and apples. They'll have candied apples, Eri. It's like a regular apple, but candied and even sweeter. And Eri's just like, yeah,
better than regular apple.
It is actually really cute, I think.
Yeah, that's a really adorable scene when she's like drooling. Yeah.
So yeah, and she agrees. Then she says, "Yeah, and I want to be your guy's friend." It's like, aw, super adorable, and not at all weird until Mirio's like, "Oh, I'm taking a leave from school right now, so I can go too. It'll be like a date." And Ari's like, "What's a date?" "When a couple goes out and has fun." And she's like, "What kind of fun?" And Deck is like, "Please stop.
Please, I don't."
As a hero, I may need to arrest you for your actions.
He's a hero too. He might have to arrest himself. We're taking you in, scumbag. What did I do? Oh, that's right.
That's weird. Okay. I know it's supposed to be like charming and cute. I don't find it.
I write that off as, Tagada is a very excitable dude. Who might just blurt stuff out, and he's like, yeah, we're gonna get you out of here. It's gonna be happy. We're gonna cheer you up. You can forget about everything that happened to you. Yeah, we're going on a date. Oh, whatever, going on a date. So yeah, it is kind of weird. Yeah.
I just like the idea that Mirio's just so dumb and excited. He's just like, we're gonna be going out together. It'd be like a date. Someone's like, but she's a child. He's like, oh, I know. I scream things out and I don't know how to respond afterwards.
I do that sometimes, so I can kind of, although admittedly I've never asked for a 9-year-old to go on a date with me, so.
It's like, it turns out attached
kind of a different level there, yeah.
It turns out attached with my phasing quirk was the filter for what I say.
Oh boy.
You guys are writing a great My Hero Academia abridged series right now. I would love to watch. Yeah.
That's the dream.
So it's time to check in on our favorite dog detective.
Detective Captain McGruff. Yep.
Woof.
Woof. Woof.
So the guy that was spotted on UseTube or whatever the hell they're gonna call this online video sharing service is apparently. He is a criminal who goes around deliberately filming himself committing crimes and then posting them to the interwebs. So we see him just like trying to rob a convenience store.
Yeah.
Holding up a poor guy with a freaking knife. Takes the guy's money from the register. A bunch of heroes show up. Like 4 heroes show up to take this guy down.
And he just walks out of it.
Yeah, we don't really see exactly what happens, but it seems as though he actually distorted everything around him, including the building, because the building is all weird and wavy. And all of the heroes who came to stop him have passed out. This guy looks like basically human Snagglepuss to me, like evil human Snagglepuss. Like, come on, look at that.
So it's not a silly voice is what you're talking about then, eh, Nick?
Time for my legs in La Brava.
To leave one's names in the annal of history.
Yeah. To leave one's name in the annals of history. That is what I seek.
You made him like a teenager, too. Like his voice is still cracking.
Yeah. I love how he added
subtitles. I ended up going to Edwin and I accidentally,
That was nice of him to add the subtitles.
I'm being paid in exposure. That's Pegasus. Damn it. I can't do his necklace. Oh, well.
Exit stage left, even.
There you go. Also, he has this weird pixie sidekick as his camera person. She looks like she's from a different series. Like she should be like from some sort of candy-themed phone game or something like that.
Yeah. Her eyes are giant. Even by anime standards, they're giant. Yeah.
Also, the guy spills coffee all over himself. Or tea, whichever is supposed to be.
Yeah, tries to. I think it's tea. He's trying to be cool, but it's on top of a building, so it just,
So presumably, he's going to try and make a big impact at the festival, and these paths are going to cross. That is the impression that I get.
I'm assuming, that would only make this like the 4th time that something has gone down at UA when it should be really secure. So we'll see how that plays out.
Hold on a second. Small detail I just noticed. Is that building alive?
Yeah, the J mark.
It's got a face.
Oh, I did. I see it.
I didn't notice it before. Is the building alive? I mean, I know the police officers are dogs. That building has a face, though.
Yeah, Chris, what you're seeing is actually the skyscraper hero, Cementos' older brother, Skyscarion, and his ability is to turn into a skyscraper.
I don't know if you're lying. I don't know.
Holy shit! Just like the building is just kind of things like I hate when people just pose on me for dramatic effect. He's a good hero. He turns into a building to house poor people, for homeless people. Full-time job. Gotcha.
Full-time job. Yeah, but he cares about it.
Can you imagine a more horrifying prospect in the world than a building that's alive and every so often just screams? It doesn't do anything else, but every so often the building just like, "Ah!" and then stops.
Oh my God. It's how you tell time. Like, oh, it's noon. Okay, cool.
Oh, Bildo's screaming again.
Bildo. I like that better than Skyscarion.
Bildo building. Bravest superhero of them all.
With super plumbing and elevator powers. He was.
I am super stoked about this.
And a 10-year warranty.
Yeah, we got to do this, guys. We got to make a comic book.
I am super excited about this villain and this upcoming arc because I love this villain. He reminds me of Mysterio and just this very theatrical, over-the-top kind of guy. Mysterio's one of the best villains in the world. I just love how pompous over the top he is. Although if he tries to pour tea and just splashes it all over his assistant and gives no fucks. He's just like...
Because he's trying to be cool, and that's all that matters.
It's all in how you sell it. It doesn't matter how the
design. I love the super high collar that goes over his head. It's so high. That's an immediate... And the mustache, that's an immediate win for me.
It is a very Mysterio-esque cape.
Not sure what I think about his little Lolita sidekick. What is her name? Because I've seen it's... La Brava. That's what I've seen on the wiki. Because it's like Love Lovers in some other version, and I'm like, Yeah,
I mean, I think she could be fun. I don't know. It's just I think this will be like a miniature villain, perhaps for a small arc. But I'm all aboard.
All right,
gearing up. Somebody said that Ultimate Muscle had a skyscraper superhero. I don't remember that.
All right. It makes sense if I did.
Yeah, because it was a weird show.
All right, let's move on to Food Wars, Chapter 250, The Man Named Eishi Tsukasa. If you can call Tsukasa a man, he seems very, stunted in his emotional development at certain points. You're giving me a weird look there, Chris.
What?
You were.
Was I? I wasn't even looking at you. I was looking at the manga.
Okay.
Now I'm looking at you.
Whoa. Oh. See, Chris, when you look into the camera...
we all look into our cameras. We all look like... I should play some, like...
Chris, do you think that looks sexual?
I don't know. I do weird things, Nick. I'm ADD. This is the curse I was given, all right? I didn't choose the hand I was dealt, but I play with it.
Chris, we've had relationships with our microphones. It happens. We're next to them all day,
This pop filter is actually a restraint order that my mic put on me.
Yeah, my Snowball put a restraining order on me, so I'm cheating on it with this blue spark right now.
Nick's still using that old school Yeti. What a weirdo.
Yeti.
Look at him.
I wanted to get a Yeti, but I don't think I'm going to get a sleek. I'm going to get the midnight blue Yeti.
I don't know if you saw Jeff post on Twitter, like, friends don't let friends use a blue Yeti. I'm like, okay, Jeff, you want to buy me my goddamn replacement then?
Yeah, but then you used an emoticon and it was creepy and unnerving.
Yeah.
It was to let him know that I was kidding.
It's terrifying, Nick.
I don't gauge emoticon usage, Nick.
It would be like if your grandma texted you, like, be back later, but, like, BBL. And I'm just like, no, you're not supposed to do this. You're supposed to write, like, I'll see you later, sweetheart. And then, crash your car or something like that because you're old. Your mental facilities are leaving.
I make it a point to just send random emojis at the end of text sometimes. Like, alien, apple, random, expression. But sometimes it'll be like, oh, crap, like, bomb and car. I'm like, no. I didn't actually mean it like that. I just typed random things.
Okay. So at the end of the last chapter, Ishiki had made his big point to Kinokuni about her importance to him because of the fact that her hard work inspires him to go beyond his limits and everything like that. To which Tsukasa suddenly butts in. I guess he's just been listening in on their whole conversation because he's just suddenly crouching near them. And he's like, "Hey, so hi," and Ishiki's like, "Oh, do you have like a counter opinion?" He's like, "No, I'm just. Will you be my assistant? I want a slave. Okay, I've been trying to get one the entire time I've been going to this school, and everyone knows they'll lose to me, so no one takes the bet."
Nick, now, are you a Yaoi fan? Because it feels like you're almost writing a new Yaoi fanfic over here.
Tsukasa's not gay. He's clearly asexual.
He's just like, the only love I have is good food.
Yeah, I literally know nothing about him other than what I've read in this chapter, but yeah.
It's honestly a pretty self-explanatory chapter for his entire character.
Pretty much. I mean, I thought the scarf he was wearing was more emotive than him, but, beyond that.
Is a scarf, or does that at that point count as an ascot?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a tough call there.
That's definitely not a scarf.
Ascot, then.
It's probably an ascot.
Yeah.
He seems like he would wear an ascot.
Or when does a bandana evolve into an ascot? Like, would this be the Pokemon level train, like bandana into ascot into scarf?
Yeah. I think age.
Anyway,
guys, the podcast's over. We need to debate this out. I gotta call NASA again. Hello?
Yeah. Question.
Hello? Yeah, I know. I got a new phone. You have to block this one too. Anyway, when does the bandana evolve into an ascot? Hello?
When you believe in it hard enough. So there we do get a little cover page for the chapter to celebrate Valentine's Day. Rindo is serving chocolate-covered lizards to people. I don't know. Tsukasa seems to be enjoying it.
Yeah?
Unless the guys are like freaking out. I was like, yeah, does this mean you love us? Cooties. So Tsukasa finishes his dish, presents it to the judges. It is I don't know French.
Not that good. Exactly.
I was I feel like you could do royal, right? A la royale.
A la royale.
Now with cheese.
Ooh, it's like Benzai.
So Histoire is the one that we get insight from as he digs into it first, and he's going like, oh no, and he and the one whose name I always forget. I remember Histoire and I remember Une, and I never remember the other guy. It's also a weird name. Anyway, I don't remember it. Right, so Bababala says that he thinks that Ishiki's dish, brimming with playfulness and gleeful surprise, was more delicious than Tsukasa's. But Une suddenly reacts, and she's like, underneath the sauce, there is another layer to the dish, hidden by the pool of sauce, a layer of royale. And as they dig into it, they discover that the dish has like a total of 5 layers to it.
There's a diagram devoted to the layers.
There's always diagrams devoted to Super Food Wars dishes. And so they're blown away because they're like, oh my gosh, none of the layers have lost any of their impact despite the fact that they're all combined together. So it's good. Trust us, it's good. Now we get to the point of the chapter that I actually like, which is the flashback to Tsukasa's childhood. Basically, he's just sitting in like, I don't know, kindergarten or something, doing art with a bunch of his classmates.
I like if it was it's like 8th grade and they're still doing like water painting.
Yeah.
Oh, the Japanese school system is really overrated, actually.
You guys didn't do watercolors when you were in 8th grade?
I'm just like, oh, is this what rural PA's education system's like?
One of our art teachers was a freaking pedophile, so it did not end well on that one.
One of ours was too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a serious problem because we're both from the same state.
Mr. Polanski, was he not your art teacher too?
Mr. Owens? I don't know.
Do not move future family to Pennsylvania.
That's a good lesson.
It's okay. You just can't make sure they don't enroll in any art classes, and you'll be solid.
And again, maybe they won't get shot if we move up there. All right, so
that's right. You're from Florida. Okay, let's move on.
So anyway, getting back to the Goofy manga.
Yeah.
The girl sitting next to Tsukasa mixes some of her watercolors together and makes a pretty blue. And so Tsukasa be like, mine. And swipes his brush and uses it to paint some of his painting. And she's like, and the teacher is like, Ishi, that was very mean. Why would you do such a thing? And Tsukasa's like, why not? It was the perfect color to improve my picture. And everyone's just like looking at him like,
the reaction to this seems a little bit overblown, because didn't he just like dip his brush in her paint? It's just like, and the reaction from everybody's like, what the hell is going on here?
Well, I guess the reaction's the notion that he has no idea why it would be considered weird. He was just like, why? What are you talking about? It improves my picture.
They're little kids.
I mean, I agree with him. But here's the thing. There are people like this. I've mentioned before on the show, my friend Jason, who has a picture of himself as the background on his phone. And I'm 100% serious. He legitimately does not understand why we think that's weird. He's like, why don't you guys have a picture of your face as the background on your phone?
Yeah
it's just like, I don't know what to say anymore. Clearly, this is a level you've accepted this, and no other argument's going to change it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. Maybe I'm Tsukasa.
Well, the thing is, I could totally see...
Where'd that ascot appear from?
I could totally see a 7 or 8-year-old doing this. Like,
yeah.
It's good. It's good. It makes my painting better. But then the teacher's like, that was a mean thing to do, though. You took something from her without her permission. And no, he's just like, what? Improved my work. What's wrong with what I did? So it's the fact that he doesn't have that, empathy, that sense of anyone other than himself. And honestly, I think that this flashback is a perfect 2-page explanation of Tsukasa's entire character. Because that's all that he's thinking about in the entire series, which is just like, how can I get better? I know. I'll just ask this guy if he wants to be my servant, and then give up on his dream so that he can just improve my own. Oh, okay, yeah. I'll join up with
Azami.
I almost called him Azan, but Azami. I'll just join up with Azami so that I can, have this regime that makes my cooking better. And, all those people who are going to go out of business or have their dreams crushed by is like, well, whatever. My dream gets to survive and improve. So, whatever. Anyway, Tsukasa wins the match, which involves him cutting off Ishiki's imaginary kimono that he was using in his fan versus sword battle.
Oh, that didn't actually happen. Okay, good, because I was so lost on that one.
Come on, man! Did you ever read Aisho 21?
No.
When Julius Caesar rides on the Tyrannosaurus Rex to attack Mr. Dawn, it doesn't actually happen.
It should go.
Right. Okay.
So, apparently, though, Ishiki actually did strip down to his loincloth because he has his clothes bundled up next to him when they're back.
Yeah.
He's staying there in his loincloth. I guess he wanted to make a dramatic statement and also show off how absurdly ripped he is. Look at the definition on his goddamn pecs.
Oh, I've noticed.
Jesus Christ. How does this guy have time to practice his cooking when he's too busy fucking lifting?
He cooks while he lifts. He's starting a whole new regiment kind of thing.
Nick, a good diet is fundamental to the success of shaping a body like his.
That actually makes sense. Like, actual sense. Weird.
Also magic.
Magic too.
Naked magic.
I'm preparing these magic beans in my latest dish.
Ishiki turns down Tsukasa, saying that he's never going to give up on doing cooking for fun. And Tsukasa's like, oh, fine. Everyone turns me down. Woe is me.
Don.
Kinikuni goes all Sinsun on Ishiki again. Is like, I knew you were going to win. I mean, come on. How great Tsukasa is. Everything is just because of how perfect his cooking is. That's why he's invincible. But Ishiki's like, are you so sure about that? Losing to him was part of my master plan, apparently. He has confidence that they're going to beat him. That's the way the chapter ends. And presumably next chapter, we're going to get Rindo versus Aldini.
Okay.
It was an exceptional chapter. Like I said, I like the 2-page flashback, and that's really about it. It was just kind of like, and then Tsukasa won.
Well, let's be real. This was obviously going to be what happened here. Nobody was going into this like, yeah.
From the moment it was announced, Ishiki versus Suka, I was like, well, Ishiki's clearly going to lose.
And not only that, it was the second match. Clearly they're not going to have him beat the #1 antagonist in the middle of the round. It would be very strange. So
they were kind enough to give him that fake out moment where it's just like, wait a second, his was better. Oh wait, no. Sorry, we didn't look under the sauce. That's
It wasn't even very convincing, honestly.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, I know nothing about these characters, but I thought, there's probably going to be a turnaround here. Oh, and then there was, yeah.
All right. Well, we don't have any jump starts this week, so we're just going to go straight along to Dr. Stone. Z equals 45.
Hey, Tekking, do you know what time it is?
Is it Stone time?
It's time to get stoned!
Okay! All right, fine. All
right, so Z equals 45, epilogue of part 1, with another neat little color page for Dr. Stone, showing him reaching out for Byakuya's hand from Byakuya's point of view. Aw, it's sweet. Byakuya's dead. So, the story of Senku, which was all about Byakuya and not Senku, has been completed. Suika and Chrome kind of recapped the entire thing for those of you who, I guess, slept through the past 3 chapters.
Like, this story is freaking boring.
Apparently, Suika wasn't paying much attention because she was just like, what a mysterious story. Like,
It wasn't even like an analog.
Well, they're talking about, like, so there's a castle in the sky? Like, what?
Yeah, it wasn't like a Disney movie, like they used Zootopia to explain racism or something like that. It was like, no, Byakuya gave birth to, like, the whole village that then went to support Senku. It isn't like he changed names in his fable. It's not like, and the Zebra Man flew off into space, sure that his horse son would one day be alive, and he wanted to have lots of different animal friends with him.
Considering all of the fables that this society knows of are tinted with Shonen Jump stories, you'd think that they would be able to wrap their head around, so no, some people went into space, and then humanity froze, and then they came back to repopulate the Earth, and then...
Well, it's also possible the stories that Byakuya told, over the course of 3,700 years, maybe they had Shonen Jump, and then they lost it again, and then, it just... Yeah.
You get differing opinions. Some people are just like, look, you can't understand the entirety of the Ballad of Ichigo without reading this side story about what Kira was up to. You have to understand why he's a robot by reading this side fable.
Apparently there's a story we need to read in a book called Math.
Oh my god.
Stone Age Nick's like, I don't want to!
This is like just a minor caveat. Someone told me about a light novel that came out talking about like what Kira's life is as a robot. And he's like, it's horrible. Like he leaks fluids all the time and shit. And it's like, why would I want to read that? Robot? That sounds horrible.
Wait, the Soul Society has so many things, but they built a shitty robot body form, and they just don't bother fixing it.
We have healed him wrong.
Like,
as
my
a joke.
entire life is agony. I can't sleep. It will not come.
They literally just hold their hands over a person's missing torso and bring it back. But they were just like, I don't know, what should we do here? They're like, I don't know, just put some fucking lug nuts and Band-Aids together. I don't care.
Harry, I've been meaning to ask you, was there any particular purpose for why you made Izuru into a cyborg? It's hilarious!
I love people suffering.
His suffering powers my new machine.
Check this out. Hi!
7 years ago, he bumped into me in the hallway and only said, I'm sorry, not I'm very sorry. This was his punishment.
And I said, totally... watch where you're fucking going. And he's like, sheesh, temper. I'll show you what kind of temper I have.
Makes total sense.
One time we were getting really stoned and I asked, would you ever want to live life as a shitty robot? And Kira said, I guess I'd give it a try. I remembered it to this day. And that's why I built him out of old aluminum plumbing. Science.
Kira's like, I don't smoke pot though. Like, well, the hallucination I had of you did.
It's not even him.
I was also pretty high when I performed the surgery, but, you know.
Oh, man, you should have seen how fucking baked I got when I thought, you know what I need? A daughter that's actually a clone of me that I cure when it gets bad by having sex with it. That's awesome.
You know what's really fucked up? We regrew Soyphone's arm. I could have totally put flesh back in your body, but I just chose not to.
But, you know, after Yamamoto was like, no, I'm fine. I was like, I guess nobody else wants to have their arm regrown, so fuck them.
I broke all of the machines.
You don't have a stomach anymore. You can only eat through some very formulated paste.
I developed a candy that has peanuts in it without any actual peanuts in it, just so children of peanut allergies die. Oh, I love being a crazy scientist.
Holy shit.
It's just like the world didn't have it, I saw the need.
Oh, God. So, yeah, check out that Bleach Light in stores on March 6th. I don't fucking know if that's actually... I might be out for it. I don't know.
So Chrome recaps the story for everyone, which is that all the statues that exist in the world used to be people. Senku's dad and those 5 others were up in the sky, so they didn't get whammied. Press your luck. So he's established as, so everyone who lives here in Ichigami Village are their descendants from thousands of years later. Kohaku freaks out for a little bit, thinking, oh my god, does that mean the entire goddamn village is related to Senku? And Senku's like, well, no, Byakuya and I aren't blood related.
Of course.
So the Chrome Senku ship lives on.
Wait. You mean Kohaku has a thing for Senku? Oh, man, I'm just figuring this out.
Everyone has a thing for Senku. Look at his hair.
That's fair point right there.
He's got E equals MC squared carved into his hide tunic.
Hey there, what's up, girl? What? Science is sexy.
What's science?
It's me.
I'm science.
I'm literally all of science, and that's actually kind of accurate.
Also, Senku says it's been a few hundred generations, so no one's really related after that long.
Yeah.
I mean, they are when there's only like 3 family trees that are just constantly. I was going to
ask you guys your opinion on that, because I've been scratching my head about that for the last 3 weeks.
Look,
also generations. It's only been a few thousand years. So I don't think it's been hundreds of generations.
How many generations can you fit in a century? Like what? Like maybe 2?
2.5, maybe?
2.5. So, maybe not that many. The best excuse I got for this is that people were released from stone at various points throughout history, and that made it more diverse, but I don't know, man.
You could, although the logic that's presented in the village is that it's an isolationist kind of village that doesn't accept new people. So unless people, it's like an Amish pilgrimage where they leave the village, have sex, come back, and have kids and filter out that way. The way I kind of had to accept it is like, Inagaki, I believe, understands how genetics work, but he's like, I'm not making 1,700 fucking astronauts who made it back. I'm doing 6 so there could be a big busty chick, a quiet busty chick, and another girl. And they could be the fucking populace that brought this all together.
Yeah. I mean, I like that. Yeah, like I said, I like to think that the mangaka knows what the hell they're doing. They're very, very, consistent with science for the most part. They keep it very.
It's just taking a little bit of liberties for the sake.
Yeah, the best way I also explained it is that if each one of those astronauts was from a completely different culture, completely different background, and whatever, then I saw someone do like a whole like Punnett square thing, and it made sense when I looked at it. So, fine.
So, there's a party amongst the whole village, but Ruri leads Senku off for a little bit of privacy and to tell him something that is only intended for his ears. Mm-hmm. We get a flashback as she explains basically the tragic end of the story, which is, hey, eventually they died. Although it is actually pretty bad because apparently people just got fucking pneumonia and it slowly killed them off. We see Byakuya, overseeing over Pigtail Girl, who died of pneumonia. Other girl and Beard Guy went off in a robot, and they're like, "It's our turn to try and help."
Oh, it's good.
Setting the boat on fire!
We're all gonna die of pneumonia. I'll just slit our throats now.
Hey, they might have still survived. They might have crashed on another island and started another society.
Maybe her reasoning was actually, you know what, things are going south here already. I'm just going to take this guy off and kill us both so that you guys don't suffer with us.
Yeah.
So that Torbjorn over here doesn't burn our house down when he gets cold.
So Russian guy is upset because his wife is dead. But he's also gotten a case of pneumonia, so he's bedridden. And while he's on his deathbed, he speaks with Byakuya and brings up the exchange that they had when they were back on the space station right before the incident occurred, when he gave him the ramen. And he's like, hey, there's something that I've actually been meaning to tell you when you made me eat that ramen up in space. It was delicious enough to put a smile on my face. So. Aw. He's dead now.
Oh, yeah.
He died in horrible agony and pain.
But I liked the ramen. Ugh. He coughed up blood for 7 hours, and then he finally died.
He's like,
and voided his bowels.
He's like, wait a minute. Turns out I'm allergic to ramen. And actually, this pneumonia is just a symptom of several years delayed, prolonged reaction to eating my allergic reaction to ramen.
Basically,
you killed
what
me.
I'm trying to get across here, you killed me, Byakuya. Fuck you.
So good luck living with that guilt bit.
Also, I fucked your wife.
I mean, who could blame me?
I mean, come on, you
She
saw
had
her.
it going on.
So Byakuya and his wife are left to basically look after all of the kids from everyone else. Byakuya occupies himself trying to write stories for future generations to pass on lessons to them. And he's like, yeah, I want all this knowledge to go on to our descendants that'll help them out. And I'm trying to make it more interesting. So I'm spicing it up with, more with stories instead of just flat out lessons. And they actually give a quick little explanation as to why the village speaks Japanese, which I like, which is originally they were apparently all communicating in English with each other. But he was like, it's hard to write this in English. And his wife was just like, well, I'll learn your language. It'll be interesting. So just write in Japanese. And all the stuff passed down in Japanese. So that's why the village speaks Japanese, because that was what was passed down to them.
Makes sense. You think there'd be some, like some splits over the course of thousands of years. It would be like broken, but still, whatever, close enough.
Maybe a little bit of slang it gets stuck in it. Not like Japanese doesn't have borrowed English terms anyway.
Yeah, like every language does at some point. I mean, not English specifically, but they borrow things, yeah.
Question. Why do the dogs in Isle of Dogs, who are all from Japan, speak English and not understand Japanese?
What, are you talking about a video game?
No, it's the movie Isle of Dogs. It's coming out. It's got a trailer out. It's Wes Anderson. It looks terrifying because the animation style is really weird. And it's all about dogs from Japan having this disease, so they ship them off to a trash island. And then a little boy lands on the island trying to find his dog, and he speaks Japanese. But all dogs speak English. And they're like, nobody speaks his language? And I'm like, but you're all Japanese dogs. Like, why would you know English but not Japanese?
Oh, wow, that is kind of creepy looking. What the hell?
Yeah, it's a weird looking movie.
A Wes Anderson movie looks weird?
It's like they're puppets. Whatever. Well, premise looks interesting.
So, the very, 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 very end of the last story is actually a direct message from Byakuya to Senku. And I like how Byakuya basically it's like he's recorded it. And
Yeah. It's just like, just remember this word verbatim and just say it to him,
So he says, hey, Senku, it's probably thousands of years from now, but that means that you've broken out of the stone. I'm doing great, by the way. Well, I'm definitely dead by now, but no. I love that upbeat. I was like, well, no, I'm definitely dead, but it's great.
I'm probably dead. I might have discovered an ancient immortality potion, but I think the odds of that are very low, so I'm probably dead. I don't want to be 100% anything.
He wanted, I think, to make sure no one starts making up theories that he's still alive. Like, there's people out there, it's like, Ned Stark's still alive. Right before he died, he warged into the birds that were flying overhead, and he then warged into a wolf that exists somewhere out into the world. You're just like, no, he's dead, bro. I don't know how to tell you this.
Holy crap, Chris, that makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Ooh.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Chris, thank you.
You're like, wait a minute. Tyrion Lannister is a time-traveling fetus from Targaryen.
Everybody thank Chris Larios, at RolloT, for confirming that Ned Stark is alive.
Shit! That's why his bones went missing. Go ahead, Nick.
Anyway. I think warging is stupid, by the way.
I didn't like the concept, no.
So, Bacchus actually, says in the message, like, here are your souvenirs as promised. Some people you can call friends, all tied together by 100 tales. Aww. But he basically says, I know that you are going to be able to do this with your science, Senku. The strength of those you can count on. I know you'll make the world a fun place again. You won't lose this fight. Build civilization up from scratch and save all of humanity. I know you can do it. No fucking pressure, Dad.
Nah. Yeah, he actually, I guess recorded that for his son. I know you will save all of humanity. You got this, kiddo.
You imagine, like, he just like, when I die, my child, write on my tombstone, Senku, counting on you. Save the world.
It like cuts over to the Senku stone body, which fell right on top of a trash can and broke into pieces.
My ghost is watching you always.
I'm sure he'll be back one day. So, Rory has led Senku to the village graveyard, and she points to one particular tiny grave and says, this is where the remains of our founders lie. And she pays some quick respects to them. And Senku tries to play it off, I'm super sciencey, and I don't have, I don't get all worked up or stuff like that. They died that long ago. There's probably not even any bones left. I'm going to do some research here. And Rory's just like, yeah, I'll leave you alone to cry.
He's like, no, I'm just doing research. Could you get me some tissues?
This is nice. This is interesting soil. We might, yes.
He's like,
it has an interesting interaction with my tears.
Yeah, my eyes. I must be allergic to it. I must do research on why my eyes are leaking. She's like, you did the same research after you told us the story of the notebook. He's like, no, I didn't. Shut up. Don't tell people that.
You told us the same story when you talked about how you wanted that old man to get his peanuts.
He deserved them.
He deserved the peanuts.
You started crying just like this when you told us the tale of Jurassic Bark. You're like, you don't understand? The dog has always been waiting for him.
Oh my God, why did you bring that up? I cried for 2 straight days after I watched that episode.
Wimps.
Nick's like,
his
good.
Dog waited for him.
I'm glad that dog died.
Yeah.
The fucking audacity to throw 1,000 summers over that damn dog. That was the most emotional moment of my childhood.
Fry's brother always got me a little bit more, but I understand.
Yeah. They fit, yeah, but it was a dog, man. It was a dog. I'm glad they fixed that in one of the movies. They show like a happy ending for the dog, but damn.
Okie doke.
Nick's like, all right, if you bitches are done crying about a fake dog, the only thing worse than a dog is a fake dog.
Can't wait for the dog in Dr. Stone to get petrified randomly.
Chalk!
You're a monster. A hideous monster.
Crushed you like chalk.
So, Senku just kind of starts talking aloud as if he's talking to his father for a bit. We get this awesome 2-page spread of him just overlooking his father's grave, the moon shining down on him. Casts what looks to be like a single tear and then composes himself. But But I really like this because Senku is always just so confident and calm and logical about everything, that seeing this moment of vulnerability, even if it is brief, does have a really deep impact because, it means a lot to him that he actually just has to have this moment to just kind of deal with it when he's just always go, go, go on to the next thing. And yeah, he is like, yeah, I know it's been a long time, but yeah, I'll definitely accept this gift. And after that, he goes back to the village. He's got shit to do still. Yep. And he goes up to Asagiri and says, hey, so what's going on in the Tsukasa Empire? And Tsukasa gets kind of an almost evil look on his face. Although I think it's supposed to be nervous. I
think it's more terror. Yeah, it's like, oh shit. By the way, what's happening next? Oh.
Yeah. And he says, Tsukasa and his people, they're coming. And Senku says, all right, well, it's time to show them what the Kingdom of Science can do. And we get a quick little chapter title there, establishing that this is the end of part 1 of our story and the beginning of part 2, Stone Wars.
Dun 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 dun.
Super cool. Love this chapter. It was great.
Oh, it was
made
great.
me cry,
it was great.
But in a good way.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Great little epilogue to this little thing here, chapter 1, I guess you could call it. It was very emotional.
So we will see if Dr. Stone continues to be great, or if it pulls a Promised Neverland. They wander off into the woods randomly for a little bit, and then it gets good again.
Yeah. There's like with these early manga, there's always a point where you realize, okay, I think this is going to get good, and that this little side story with Senku's father is where I started getting really into it. So hopefully the Stone Wars doesn't disappoint. It's not just like, oh, Tsukasa killed everybody.
Tsukasa wins. It's like they just get the next chapter. It's like, all right, so now it's about Tsukasa just.
Anyway, let me drink my mead out of Senku's skull.
We have science. Yeah, well, we have flaming catapults. Shit.
They're like, I thought
How
science
did you make those without science? Lots and lots of experimentation. That's science.
He's but we were swole as shit while doing it.
Yeah. We're super. That's all Tsukasa's empire is, just a bunch of buff dudes posing.
He's like, actually, we just lit our smaller strong people on fire and had the stronger strong people throw them, and that's our flaming catapult. So like, damn.
Brutal but effective.
Oh yeah. But I'm getting. Hey, do either of you read Kingdom?
We did it as a recommendation.
Because I'm thinking the way that Dr. Stone is set up and everything's all methodical with science and everything, we might have like a warfare kind of thing. Like okay, we're here, you gotta flank and everything, different divisions and shit. I'm looking forward to it. If it's done right, this Stone War arc could be really good shit.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on over then to We Never Learned. Question 50. Blooming in the hot spring water are traces of the genius's X.
Hot spring chapter. It's the 1 year anniversary, so there's got to be a hot spring chapter.
Yeah.
Let's go over first of two. Basically, the only part of this chapter I actually really like, which is just the joke at the beginning.
Yeah. So we get a color opening beginning page where all the girls are drinking juice and celebrating that their 1 year anniversary happened, and Ogata stops to say like, "Wait a minute. A year consists of 365 days." And we started in April, but now it's summer vacation. How can this be our 1 year anniversary? And everyone's just celebrating, like, yeah, let's do this.
That's awesome. 1 year.
Ogata's like on the verge of tears. She's like, what? No, all of my precious science.
Did I step into a time vortex? What?
I don't understand.
I think that's.
Go ahead.
I just think that's great.
Yeah, that's a cute one. Yeah.
We then get a 2-page spread of all the, I guess, girls with a chance who are in this page. You'll notice that...
What are you talking about, Chris? What about Karisu's sister, Mafuyu?
Where's Shikijo, Nick? Nowhere, because she
doesn't have a crush on Yuiga, Chris.
Because she has one on Ogata.
She wants to be her friend.
Yes.
Sure. All right. So...
You're going to be so mad when, like, boy Ogata just shows up and he hooks it up with him. It's like, ha! Oh. No pizza for you!
Alright, so our chapter begins, and they are now at an intensive overnight study camp as they're preparing for their upcoming exams and everything like that. So I guess they do outdoor, they at this intense study camp, also takes place nearby, like a hot spring.
You know,
spa.
schools in manga are always so interesting. They do so many interesting things. They go to hot springs to study.
It seems so detrimental. You're like, we're going to take teenagers at their horniest point in their life and get them naked with just the the opposite gender in like a paper thin wall across from them. And we'll hope that helps them study and focus more. Why haven't
they implemented this in the United States? I have no idea.
I get the impression that it's supposed to be like, we're going to take you away from all of your distractions and stuff. You're gonna have some fun to relax.
Except the most cardinal distraction of all.
Yeah.
Flesh. So...
You said that a little hungrily, Chris.
Well, I want to eat them. I don't want to have sex with any of these girls. I want to devour them. I'm like Neil Patrick Harris's character in SVU.
You getting like the printed version, and you're like, finally, and you like cut it up with a steak.
Reasoning.
So, it's a Hot Springs episode, which means we get all the classic Hot Springs jokes.
Before we get too deep into this, Tekking.
Yes.
Do you read We Never Learn normally?
Okay, I am scattershotted with it. Like I read it like regularly, and then the last half year I've been on it.
Right.
Of course, I did.
I was wondering if you like had like no familiarity with it, because then we could ask you like, what do you know about the girls from just this chapter?
Well, no, of course I read the chapter a few ago about Rizu's the confusion with her boob size. That was the one, of course, I had to. If we're just going by the girls on the cover page, I know all of them except the girl in the maid outfit and
but
the
she's
teacher.
The best.
And the teacher, and those two are kind of the newer ones. I'm not familiar. I know she's a teacher. I don't know much more about her though. But yeah, I should get back into it.
I was just curious because I was wondering like, could we actually gauge what someone has taken away from this chapter about the characters involved? So it's like Uruka swims. Ogata has big boobs. Fumino has flat boobs.
Yes. I'm with that so far. I'm with your descriptions.
And yeah, we get all those...
Yuiga is completely oblivious to every little thing that happens to his life. That's him.
Well, the weird thing is it's slowly in this series, it started off like almost like a childlike innocence. Like he's just like, oh my goodness, we wandered into this sexual situation, but I'm so ashamed. But now I have moments where he's like, I'm getting too aroused by this. It's like,
I feel like, and I know these are common tropes in manga, but I really feel like there's a sex god that's just forcing him into these really provocative, like, oh, guess what? Guess we have to spend the night together in this hotel room. Guess we're going to have to spend here.
Every night, Bacchus, drunk off his ass, is just spinning a giant wheel of sexually frustrated situations.
And land on that Eureka kid again. Right.
He's like, guess we're going to the hot springs, baby. Woo! Jaeger bombs!
Dude! Kid, I'm trying to get you laid. I gave you 5 women in constant sexually provocative situations. What is wrong with you, kid? I'm not stopping until this shit happens.
It's Bacchus in like a polo shirt with like 8 popped collars. He's like, bro, I've been sending you all these chicks just in fucking crazy situations. Just go with it, man.
On his deathbed, and he's like, as he's dying, he like looks up and sees Bacchus looking down from the heavens. Like, Bacchus, why did you never get me laid? And Bacchus is like, I sent you that boat and that helicopter.
I sent you the hot, giant boobed science girl, the small boobed literature girl, the adequately sized boob athletic girl. Your teacher, bruh. Your teacher, bruh.
It's a challenge to Bacchus at this point. It's just like, I gotta do something, man.
The next girl is just gonna have a neon sign that just says "fuck me" on it. She has no head; it's just the neon sign.
Do we have the kind of provocative sort of school slut girl yet, or has she yet to make an appearance in this manga? No, okay.
Closest with Sayumi, I guess, but she's more teasing.
She's
like she's just like, you know, she'll end up in these perverse situations with you again. She's like, oh, aren't you a lucky boy? And he's like, no, I'm embarrassed. And she's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Panda Bimbo brings up a good point where he's like, yo, I called my bro Poseidon to have him make all these sea creatures go up and steal all your girls' tops, bro. How did you do nothing with that? All right, so there was a lot of fan service jokes in this chapter. They make jokes about Ogata's boobs floating. Fumino is like showering, and Yuiga walks in, and they see each other naked. But Yuiga doesn't, because he doesn't have his glasses in. So he's male Velma, and he's just like, I can't see anything without my glasses.
I saw this silhouette.
And the reason that Yuiga walked into the same bath as her is something I find genuinely humorous. Is that one dude just walked by, he's like, oh shit, I forgot to change the signs for which one's the male and which one's the women's.
Why do you need to change those?
I'll just change them back now and hope no problems came of it. Which,
damn it, I was trying to mess with it last night. I was trying to get into the girl's back by accident, but I forgot to switch it back today.
Which is hilarious to me. What reason would there ever be to change which gender the bathrooms are?
No.
Like,
well, the damn kids, they said the women were men last night, and then, damn it.
I don't know what. Kids today are so weird. They're like, no, it was your fault. You shouldn't have changed the signs ever, or you should have changed them once when you were supposed to. Like, he's just me, like, at my job, where I'm like, was there 25 containers in that in inventory? Fuck it. I'm sure there was. That's management's problem.
They alternate every evening. They're like, the woman's bath becomes the men's bath tomorrow. I can think of a few problems with that.
It's like cosmic bowling. They decide whether or not to put up bumpers that night or not. Like,
we just like to fuck with our guests here at Hot Spring Confusion. Welcome.
They're like, guys, we don't choose these rules. Bacchus set these down for us way back in the day. He's like, bro, this is gonna get so many hookups. Dudes just be walking in on chicks be walking in on dudes. It's gonna get people fucking laid.
Our boss is a pervert. What else can we say? I'm sorry.
So all the girls are in this bath then, or the three main girls, I should say. And all of Yuiga's friends start walking in because now this is the men's bath. So the three girls are stuck and they have to get out of there. So Yuiga tries to kind of like run distraction for them. And the guys are all really excited because there's a slight hole in the wall that divides the baths. So like, if we dig at this for a bit, we could peek in on the other girls. So they're like, we'll use this opportunity to escape. But then they start talking about which girls they like of the three that are in there unknowingly. So they all stop because they're like, well, what is he? They're asking Yuiga which girl he likes best. Let's listen. And of course, there's fucking no committal answer to it. This is
and the amazing thing is they can hear all this shit underwater.
Yes. Well, they also, I guess, are choosing to breathe underwater completely. I feel like that would be so much worse because then you'd be making bubbles and everything like that.
Yeah,
like, as they
there
keep
are
gasping
and
in shock.
Yuiga's just like, it's just a jet bath. Just ignore the bubbles.
He's like, I've been farting a lot. That's why.
I had the bean surprise for lunch.
Eventually they open up the hole there. So they're able to see on the other side, and Asumi's over there and just finger pokes the guys. She's like, we can hear you. Why were you like... I like that joke as well, that they're just like...
And once again, Asumi is the only person to escape a chapter with dignity. Like, it always happens.
Like, all the guys like, I can't wait to peek in on all these chicks. She's like, we can hear you. What would you think would mean we couldn't hear you? Like, it's blinds and nothing, open sky.
And the manager of this place is a pervert, so the walls are paper thin. We already found 6 hidden cameras.
So the girls escape, and the chapter ends with Yuiga being like, wow, man, I gotta get back to studying. And then he randomly finds a bra on the ground, which just is meant to lead to a joke about him being like, Fumino, is this your bra? And she's like, why do you think it's mine? He's like, because of the size. And I was like, why would she just leave her bra somewhere? I don't get wouldn't she have noticed? Like,
Chris, are you a teenage girl?
At heart.
Okay.
At heart.
You should know the answer to that already.
I do leave my bras everywhere. That has been a massive problem of mine. Forgetting my bras, too.
Mm.
So that's the chapter. It's the train of being punished for saying that Nisekoi is not as good as we'd ever learned is just continuing to hammer on me, so...
You fucking, like...
Actually, guys... We Never Learn has gotten so much better than Nisekoi. It's outstanding. I'm hoping Reverse Psychology switches it back. So We Never Learn...
I don't read Nisekoi.
Nisekoi...
Well, no. Didn't Nisekoi end?
It did. But Nisekoi was this sort of series with a lot less shameless fan service. It still had it from time to time, but it was a lot less shameless about it. but I thought We Never Learned was saying a really strong like narrative and like stronger standpoint from a writing stance. And literally the chapter after I said it just started all of this non-stop like shameless fan service train.
Yeah.
So
I think I like the manga. It's just that I think there's so many problems with these slice of life series for me when they get into that, like, well, here's the main character who's a guy and here's like 5 women, so there's going to be many moments where it teases he's going to get together with one of them and it's just a tease, and then the next chapter is another tease, and then the next chapter there's so much of that I can take, and I'm like, come on, just bang one of them already. That would have already happened 70,000 times in real life. Like
horny teens.
But all right. Yeah.
So, Promised Neverland. Why don't we?
Nothing happened this week, right?
No. Nothing of importance.
Emma just hung around with the kids, and they had dinner, and I think that was pretty much it.
Oh, it was a chapter all about Fat Chops and his like cooking adventures inside the hatch.
Lucas tells the story of his haircut. That was an interesting.
He's like,
subplot.
I thought it was pretty cool. Other people have kind of shit on it, but I think the look's still in. I don't know.
Yeah, we checked in on the Gracefield house, and Phil was just annoyed with all the other kids being stupider than him. He's like, no!
You're smartest kid here.
He's like, look, if you don't want to play Operation, that's fine. But I'm going to finish this ass-based Operation game designed by Nicholas Freeman Brothers.
Why did I design it?
Because we made the joke earlier about you.
It was your idea.
Yeah, well, you know, you still get the credit for it, Nick. You're the originator, you know?
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
Look,
you are.
Nick, we need to still give the McDonald's brothers credit for creating the restaurant. Even if Michael Keaton created everything.
You don't even know his real name.
I don't know the real guy's name. I want to call him Ray Parker Jr., but
So
that's
anyway,
the Ghostbusters guy. So anyway, guys, Batman fucked over the McDonald's guys super hard, which is weird, but then it makes sense when you think about it, because he's also the Vulture. Yeah. So he's been a bad guy from the beginning.
Very beginning, chapter 1.
Chapter 1. I'm the Vulture.
You just have to go back and read it again. It makes total sense.
You can see the clues.
Chapter 74, A Special Child.
He is special.
So, we get a very brief little recap of the previous chapter from Emma's perspective in the first couple of pages, thinking about the stuff that they have learned over the course of the last couple of chapters, including the stuff about there are only 3, including you, from other farms coming that she's gotten, which is going to be Lucas and Emma, and then probably Adam, the guy who really can't really talk, has the weird mark on his chest, and yeah.
You missed out the fact that he was, sporting the giant freakish steroid muscles.
It probably is steroids.
Oh yeah, this chapter pretty much confirms that.
But she also thinks about the development of a new farm in the far west being under construction that she heard about, the data chip that they got from William Minerva. And she thinks, wonder if Adam could be from that. And then, seemingly, we get a kind of flashback from Adam's perspective. Because this does appear to be... I don't know if this is supposed to be taking place in the past, this chapter.
Oh, well, I think, yeah, there's parts of it that definitely take place in the past. I don't really know when that ends, because with Norman, leaving, but then it's just, him in the facility. I don't know.
We're meant to get the impression that some time has definitely passed, because Norman has learned the rules to this place after a while.
Yeah. Because didn't they leave in, what was it, November they left, or was it February?
Well, there was a period of time between after when Norman left to when the kids escaped. That was several months, I believe.
Her leg had to heal and everything, so it was a few months, but I don't remember when they exactly left.
Well, it doesn't look as though you see Adam in the facility.
Yeah.
So I think that it's supposed to be implied that by the time we catch up to Norman, he's actually the present. Okay. Anyway, speaking of Norman, he's alive! We kind of, I mean, we're kind of counting on that.
Assume that pretty much, but yeah, okay.
But after the whole the hint of I don't know something about Norman because 22194 is Norman's number, and yeah, here's the whole story.
Well, it's not
Chew on that.
It's not the entire story. Because
it's not the whole story.
We
but
still don't know what Norman has done for Adam to make that connection. That he's like Hodoring out his number the entire time.
So yeah, Norman is inside of a small room, basically a bedroom that has a bunch of monitoring equipment in it. And so he wakes up in the morning, speaks to a doctor who, gets him breakfast, checks on his vitals and everything, and then presents him with his test, similar to the test that they were taking at the Gracefield house. And he fucking plows through it. Before that, there's a brief little moment where, as he's eating his dinner, and also picking up a glass in a very strange and peculiar way. Me. Who does that?
Look, I had a friend who had like triple jointed hands, so he did a lot of things very weird, very smart guy. I'm very used to like people who are intelligent. Like it's like it's like L, Nick. Like he sits on a chair with like his feet up.
I was just gonna bring.
You can't take the pills in the glass if you're covering the rim with your hand.
I was just gonna bring that up after watching. After watching Death Note, I did do weird shit like L did after that. I was like 15.
Nick, this is why you're not a genius, okay? I didn't want to say it, but I did. Oh, he's gone now. I'm sorry. Oh, he's doing it, Nick! Turn back! Nick, Tekkin's a genius! He's doing it! He's the smartest man in the world!
Got it! I got it. I maybe got 3 drops in my mouth doing that.
Nick, I'm sorry. You're the smartest one in this podcast. Please come back. That's like the turn, like, I am? Like the best, like, I am, aren't I? Alright, well, we're going to continue the show without Nick then, guys.
Alright then, cool.
Now I'm the smartest one on the show, now that Nick's gone.
I think we might have a contention.
Damn it. Fuck. Nick, you're the smartest, coolest person I've ever seen.
Nick, we love you, Nick. You're awesome, Nick.
Sending heart beams your way.
You have a better mustache than either of us could ever aspire towards. So.
I mean, I know that.
I don't know.
All right.
Anyway, while he is failing to take his pills, he drops a fork while he's eating, and basically as soon as it hits the floor, suddenly a drawer pops out of the wall with a new fork.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Thank you."
Oh, and by the way, someone brought up just now that little screen on that Norman has does actually say the date. It's January, so that solves that. At the very top of the page.
Oh yeah, 2046, 129. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. So this is a little bit in the past because
So Norman gets a perfect score again, and basically we see some scientists be like, "He is very, very, very smart."
Very.
That's basically what it boils down to. Also, while they're talking about him, he solves a 5x5 Rubik's Cube, and those things are fucking insane. So.
Oh yeah, I didn't know they made them that complicated.
They get more complicated than that. It's just
let's throw this kid in 9x9 and see where he's freaking sleeping tonight.
I'm still having trouble. I'm still having trouble solving my fidget spinner. I'm pretty close though, guys. It's like any day now. If you do it this way, it starts to change, though. So I'm not... I think you're supposed to eat it. But I haven't been able to, like... I try to... It doesn't get all the way around now. It hurts. It hurts my teeth, Mick. How do you solve it?
I'm still trying to figure out my golf ball.
Have you tried eating it?
Yeah.
All right, let's try it. Ow! Ow! Nick, help! Nick, help me!
Maybe we should just talk about the manga so you guys don't kill yourselves.
No! It's gone!
Chris, obviously the solution is to destroy every fidget spinner you see so that they can't hurt you anymore. But don't do it with your mouth.
Shit.
Am I supposed to boof it then?
Boop it?
Yeah.
Boof it.
Like, eh?
Someone showed this really terrifying thing where you can put a light bulb in your mouth, but you can't take a light bulb out because your jaw won't allow it to do it. So don't eat light bulbs, kid. Light bulbs and Tide Pods. Don't eat them.
Wait, what if I try the fidget spinner with a Tide Pod? And I'm just all the hip things all at once.
Yeah, they should, or better yet, they should make a Tide Pod in the shape of a fidget spinner. That would make
holy shit!
That would make the internet explode.
Or a fidget spinner made of Tide Pods. Guys, I gotta leave the podcast. I gotta trademark.
Yeah, we gotta
shit.
do this now.
So
I had to buy Tide Pods today, and I was surprised they didn't have like an 18 or up, like the alarm goes off in the self checkout, like dur dur dur.
You had to stop yourself from eating them on the in the aisle. You're like, I'm gonna go buy these.
I was buying a bunch of snacks. I was buying a bunch of snacks, like chips and cookies in my basket. Then I throw the Tide Pods in. I'm like, if someone sees that, they might get the wrong impression.
Some guy's like, you can't eat those, kid. You're like, thanks.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So, Norman has impressed everyone, but he misses his friends. Apparently, he just spends his days doing smart person stuff, like reading, solving puzzles, apparently playing chess with himself, which can't be very entertaining.
You might be playing against a robot.
Maybe there was like a computer that's like E6.
The computer's just like, I forget how do the little horsies move.
King me.
Jumanji.
Why do you play me against a dumb computer? How does that help me?
You've activated my trap card.
I was just gonna do a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh reference. I move bishops to king rook 6. I activate negate attack. Shit.
It's like, you activated my magic cylinder. You lose 2,000 life points. Like, fine, you win. I don't. Just stop. Give me a new computer.
I don't want to play this game anymore.
There is a chess-themed archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh, though.
There's a lot of stupid
There is the
archetypes.
Archfiends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never liked the Archfiends.
I actually have to be right back.
Sure.
All right. So I'll continue this as the new smartest member of this podcast.
Hit it.
So Ray Norman. That's his name. Norman.
Yep.
I got
Ray has black hair. That's how you can tell the difference.
The first word I uttered was wrong, so this is off to a good start. Norman's talking about how he wants to see them safely, and we get a further flashback from what we are getting right now to what happened after Norman left the farm, because we thought that he had been taken, but turns out not. He actually met Peter Rattali is, I think, the guy's name. We met him last chapter.
I've been calling him Peter Rattry, because he's like a rat.
He is very rat-like. He is very Rizzo-esque. So Peter, who we met last chapter, took Norman in and basically was like, I'll be your new father. Well, not exactly your father, because I'm obviously pretty close to your age, but, I'll be basically looking after you. And we found out that this is essentially what Mom did in taking after Norman. So Norman is not dead. The theories that said Norman was still alive are right, as many of us kind of predicted. But he is in a new prison of a completely different make. He's being watched in this cage. He is essentially still being used in food in some fashion. They just don't know what he's doing. They haven't killed him yet. And they're still doing tests, experiments on him, things like that. And he sees at one point, looking through a wall, a nursery of some kind filled with a very bizarre group of people. There are some very strong, muscly people, similar to Adam. But there's also other kids who are small with giant heads and things like that.
Yeah, and like one kid looks like he got like a freaking lobotomy. He's got like stitches right upside his forehead, and
I'm wondering if this is meant to be something connecting the idea, because for some reason smart kids taste the best in the Promised Neverland universe.
Yeah, so they do.
So maybe this is some experimental facility trying to get kids who are the smartest and then also have the best meat on them. So some kind of weird fusion between trying to get kids who are really smart, between also trying to get kids who are just really jacked and have a lot of...
We need to try to mass produce Normans. He will be...
It seems actually very likely that that's some level of what's happening here.
Yeah, that's this is the new research. This is Lambda, whatever number it was. Yeah.
Yeah, Lambda 7214. So... he's kind of noting that he's in this room. There's 6 cameras. They're recording me. They're constantly watching me. Everything's plastic, so I can't use that as a weapon. And he even has a tracking device around his wrist. So it's impossible for him to escape, but he makes a promise that he doesn't care. He's going to get out of here no matter what. He's going to live, survive, and see Emma and everyone else again.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dramatic reverb. So hey, Norman's alive! Ah! How'd you feel about this?
One of the main characters from this series wasn't killed off early in the series. Also, I heard some news that it's halfway done now.
Really? They said they're giving like a timetable for it?
All I heard was an interview that they said it's about halfway through with like chapter 75-ish. That's what I heard. So,
you know, that would be a bummer if it's true, but at the same time, I think this is the kind of story that needs to be able to pick its own ending.
That's true. And also, you can't really always believe that. I always take that kind of stuff with a grain of salt, because I remember hearing once about like the One Piece editor was like, yeah, Whole Cake Island will be ending at like chapter 880, and I was like, huh.
They also said, I think they said when they went to the New World, like, well, the series is half over now, and it's just like, I don't know if it is. We still have Wano, Elbath possibly to go to, and Raftel. It's gonna take a while.
We're still on Promised Neverland. We're just talking.
I was gonna say, like, did you guys just get through 3 series while I was gone?
Yeah, I'm like, Tekking, do you like Black Clover? He's like, not really. I'm like, good. Let's not talk about it. Let's move on.
All right.
Norman
where are you guys?
That's how the chapter ended. Norman went to Wano.
Yeah, we just finished Promised Neverland. So your thoughts?
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought it was interesting that suddenly went this direction. It was like, here's what Norman's been up to. So now we know what all of the main 3 kids are really kind of, well, maybe not in Norman's case currently doing, but it's nice to know that all 3 of them are being followed again at this point. Mm-hmm. So I'm interested to see how this is going, and also I think it's interesting how Ratri has just suddenly been built up very, very quickly.
Yeah, like in the last 3 chapters we found out about him. This is the first time we've seen him in like the present story-ish. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Seems to have aged pretty well.
It seems fine. Longer hair, you know. Still a scumfuck, but, you know.
Hey, what's his name? Minerva might still be alive. We never know.
Never found his body?
It's possible.
Yeah. All right.
He warged into a bird.
Yeah, he warged into a bird, and they never found his bones, so he's probably still alive.
Survived by warging into birds. Yeah.
So let's
read Animorphs. You know that it's not best existence, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, we trapped us around on that island like that dickhead David.
Oh, Chris.
Spoilers.
What's next?
Spoilers from book 21.
From a 20-year-old book series for children.
22. Book 22. That was a Rachel book when that was over. Sorry.
So, the 7 Deadly Sins. Let's talk about that. Chapter 254, Hopeless Camelot. So, we open in, and we're starting inside of Camelot as the brother team, except Esterosa, he's not there, are basically discussing everything that's sort of happened right now. Zeldris explains he couldn't get Meliscola back. He notes that the 4 Archangels are back, although it's technically 3. I guess maybe they're also considering the idea that
Escanor
has the power, so maybe he's one. They know that one of them is dead because they killed him, so
yeah.
I would be shocked if they were like, no. I mean,
it's like the 7 warlords from One Piece, you know. You got to keep on calling them the 7 warlords, even when there are currently only 5. Like,
5 warlords doesn't sound as good. You have to have that ring to it. Yeah, it's your brand name. You got to stick with it.
Yeah. So they know that there's some things going on there. Ludachel's back. They have to watch out for her. But Melodious is just like, whatever. Let's get the commandments back, because once I have them all back and I'm the demon lord, it doesn't matter. It's going to be over. So there's some small discussions going on. We see Esterosa has actually managed to kill one of the 10 commandments to take back his commandment. Gilland managed to just take that guy down and butcher him. He was frozen to stone, so it wasn't too hard. But
I do like how he's just like, hey, help me out of here. No. Oh!
Smash.
Break.
We cut over to King Arthur, who is trying still to rescue everybody inside of Camelot, as we found out. Although everyone at Camelot has been saved, basically. They had everybody teleported away as part of that deal that Merlin made. So I guess it's just kind of Arthur there, and he's trying to get what I believe is Excalibur. I don't know if they ever refer to it as such. They refer to it as the magic sword.
Holy sword.
So
magic sword, King Arthur.
Yeah, it's all Arthurian legend references, and there's a magic sword stuck in
Mjolnir. It must be Mjolnir.
Shit, yeah, he's trying to get Mjolnir because he is the only person who's worthy. Mew Mew, as the one chick from Two Girls called it.
You stop it.
Mew Mew. And he essentially goes to this situation inside the castle. His little cat friend that's like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like it's like those
horrible god's joke of a cat.
What do they call them? Pyun-pyuns or pyon-pyons? The like little like...
Nyan.
No, not Nyan. It's Pun-pun, I think is the name of it, or something like that. It's these like little things in Japan where they're just like head versions of like characters and things like that. If Annalise were here, she'd know. No, they're not Tamagotchi. It's it's Pun-puns. Or, hold on, I bet it's a real thing. You guys are going to be feeling so stupid. Pun-pun.
So he eats a girl.
Well, this is sending me to Good Night Pun-pun. What is the name? Tsum Tsum. That's it.
Good night Pyon-pun. That sounds like a weird porn site. Good night.
It's not. It's Tsum Tsum. So that's it. If you type it in, TSUM, you'll see it, and you'll be like, oh, that's exactly, what a great fucking reference. Chris, you're so fucking cool and smart. You're the best person. You're great. So he finds his cat Tsum Tsum, and Cat Saith, I guess, and they go in looking, and that's when Zeldris shows up, and Zeldris like, I'm about to fuck your day up. And not Chandler also shows up to start up some shit. But that's when fucking Kate shows up and is like, no, I'll save you, Arthur. Get out of here. And then he, I guess, he like uses telekinesis to distract everyone. I thought he was using like a flash grenade at first, but turns out he's doing something else. And Arthur starts running away, but then Chandler shows up, starts floating by. He's like, who's making that rocket? Does Chandler need to kill some people? It's been so long.
Could I be any more disturbed from my rest?
Arthur finds the sword and is about to lunge for it and grab it when the wall explodes and not Chandler shows up with like the bloodied head of Kaith. I don't know if it's supposed to be...
Which isn't that bad because he's just a head anyway.
Yeah, he's just
like it looked horribly gruesome at first, and then I was like, oh right, he was just a head to begin with. It's not like he's been deep beheaded or anything.
Yeah. So I don't know if he's supposed to be dead, but Arthur's very, very sad about this, and Melodius shows up to be like, Arthur, you guys don't belong here anymore, get out. And they have a little bit of a brief kind of discussion where Arthur's really sad because he looked up to Melodius, because Melodius once told him that it doesn't matter what others think of you but what you think of others. And Arthur's like, I don't care what happened, your friends, the 7 deadly sins, still believe in you, and I can't let you betray them or Princess Elizabeth. And he draws Excalibur and says, I won't allow it. And then,
oh god, this is actually way heavier than it looks.
And then by pulling the sword out of the stone, he ages 7 years to a dystopian future where Hyrule is ruled by Ganondorf.
That is a very long sword after actually now that I'm looking at it.
It's huge.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe the sword's maybe giving off a light beam almost, that's why it seems like it's much, much longer than it should be, but,
Yeah. Huh.
So there we go. That's the chapter.
Arthur's it sure was a chapter. It happened.
It definitely happened.
I have basically nothing to say about it. I had completely forgotten that Arthur had the little cat thing following him around. The fact that it ate a demon is kind of like, well, that's a little gruesome. But he drew a sword. Okay.
He drew Excalibur, Nick.
Okay.
Mjolnir. He drew Mew Mew.
Excalibur, you fool.
He's Arthur. Of course he drew Excalibur.
EX Caliber. That's like a gun.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like this. That's going to be like a new fucking Final Fantasy gimmick at some point.
Damn straight, yeah.
You got to activate EX Caliber.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe something cool will happen with this in the next chapter. I don't know. I have very little opinion on it.
I only read the 7 Deadly Sins chapter when they involve Escanor, because he's the coolest character.
So you love last chapter, then?
That's what I thought we were talking about tonight.
Oh.
So
what'd you feel about that last chapter then?
It was nice. I liked it. How they expanded on his sunshine power and him just chilling out with Hawk and everything. So what does Merlin think about me? Oh, well, you have a mustache and you're buff in the day and scrawny at night. Like, oh yeah, that's totally who I am. Yeah.
There we go. And that, everybody, is Tekking's review of Chapter 253 of Seven Deadly Sins.
Yeah.
Yay!
I posted, because I'm not following the anime, I posted on my Twitter, like, hey guys, I'm not following the anime. Just let me know when Escanor shows up and starts wasting fools. Thanks! And I was like, cool, we gotcha.
We gotcha, brah.
Alright.
Alright.
I don't know why I'm yawning so much all of a sudden.
Oh, it's because Black Clover's coming on.
That harsh.
Come on, Nick.
Adelie starts crying. She's like,
what? Black Clover. But it's a fight between two people, and there's a book with pages. Come on, get excited.
Tekking, why don't you recap this chapter for us?
All right. So,
I got it. It's cool.
Go ahead.
Page
I'm
144.
Like, shit, what was the Magic Emperor's name again? Cronus or so?
I just call him the Wizard King. It doesn't matter.
I think it's like Julius.
It's like Julius Nova Chrono.
Julius, yeah, that's it. Orange Julius. All right, go ahead.
With a name like Nova Chrono, you kind of have to have time magic, don't you?
I love that. I love the names of kids. My name's Flare Igneous. Oh, okay, well, so your ability is lightning, obviously.
What does that say about Ben Funk? He's like, I was born to be funky. And have and have cruel parents who, knowing full well our last name was Ben Funk, still decided to name me Ben. In an eternal
My dad was an asshole.
My dad smoked a lot of pot.
My father, Benjamin Ben Funk.
What about John Hancock then?
Oh, well, that's just smart. That's a smart thinking.
Yeah.
All right. So people are actually starting to notice the effects of the battle going on between Licht and the Wizard King, particularly because something's shining up there. Ooh. I don't know. Maybe Licht is right to try and kill them. The Wizard King's assistant is apparently the only member of the goddamn Magic Knights that knows how to do his fucking job, because he's like, there's trouble here. Someone of clearly at least Magic Knight Captain power is fighting with the Wizard King. I must call for help. I will communicate with the other captains and ask for backup.
Good job, page boy kid. You know how to do your job.
Whatever your name is.
Imagine how much better the fucking Gote 13 would be if Sasakibe did his fucking job once in that goddamn series before dying. Like, he was competent at any point in the series. Because that's basically what happens here. He's like, oh, the dude I'm like the fucking personal assistant for is in some shit. Let me help out.
It's funny because they introduce all these different means of communication that the Soribus have, like the soul butterflies.
Yeah, the Tensei-Kura. Yeah.
Right, Tensei-Kura, which is like mass communicate. I'm going to send out a group voice message by waving my hands a little bit,
and it's like with everyone. Right in your mind. Yeah.
Everyone can hear my thoughts immediately. And Sasakibe's one job before we saw him die was delivering a message in person.
He's like old school. He's like, I don't like this newfangled age of communication.
I think it didn't.
Learning how to use the soul butterfly is too complicated.
He's like,
with my rapier.
Can you help me get it?
He show up and didn't like stab him through his office, and then he's just like, I'm dying. By the way, Bonkai. I think that's what went down.
Didn't like someone shitty kill him too, like the roar? It's just like
it was Driscoll Bursey. It was the overkill, and he got overkilled. Yeah.
With a giant fucking arrow.
With a giant arrow talisman pillar thing.
Very nice.
Okay. So
year and a half, we still shit on Sasakibe.
He was the best character.
Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure. So we see like Charlotte, we see the Mantis captain getting the message, and also a message shows up, ironically, at the Golden Dawn headquarters where Yami is. And so Yami sees it and he's just like, well, shit. And he we get the impression that he kind of figures, wait a minute.
Because Yabi also knows
bad guy.
the most obvious fucking twist this series ever had, and also decided to do nothing about it.
Wait a second. The obvious bad guy is the... Wait, okay.
It's like, you know what? I always had a suspicion that Leashed and William Vengeance were the same person, you know, on the account of them looking identical. And never
the fact
being...
his name is William Vengeance. I mean, that's a total freaking villain name.
It's Vengeance. It's different. That's why it's innocent. His name is very innocent.
There's no E in it. There's no E. It's just Vengeance. All right. Oh shit! Thought you were like some comic book villain there for a second.
Yeah, it would almost be too obvious if it was William Vengeance.
Okay,
then no one would make the connection.
Say your name is Joe Killer. Okay.
Yeah. You must not be responsible for all those missing orphans, then. Let him go, boys. Let him be that orphanage teacher like you requested.
All right, you got it, Chief Wiggum.
That's a
Bake them away, toys.
So good work there, boys.
I like the way that he poses on his broom as he's flying out of the...
Yeah. You gotta look cool. It's like, I'm fucking yummy. I'm the most badass thing in this entire series. I'm too good for it, almost.
Oh, shit!
Oh, shit, a bird! Gosh!
Oh, my eye!
Crow just flies in his face.
Why didn't I use key?
We get back to the fight between Leashed and the Wizard King. We do see some kind of cool stuff, like the Wizard King freezes a light bolt that Leashed sends at him and then rewinds it back towards him, which is cool.
I just want to note, visually, that move looks like fucking the Wizard King throws Roman numerals at Leashed. Like, if you look at it, he's just got all these Roman numerals.
C M M M V V V.
Like, Leashed like, oh, why didn't I learn Roman numerals?
Yes, I don't even know what year is attacking me.
Shit, what the hell is a freaking W? I don't even know.
Fuck, what Super Bowl just happened? There's no time to check.
Wait, hang on a second. I is yes. Fuck. So if it comes before, if it becomes before the X, then that means
Yeah. Wait. So the Super Bowl was. Oh wait. Damn it.
He's like, he threw an X at me. That must be super high.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
The Wizard King actually uses the light bulb as a distraction to basically teleport behind Vengeance and try and seal him in one of his chronostasis orb thingies. And Vengeance realizes, what the this guy is ridiculous, and he's trying to take me alive, which means he's actually holding back on me despite how powerful he seems. What the hell what kind of grimoire does this guy have if he can actually do this when I have a 4-leaf grimoire? And the Wizard King is like, I can apparently read minds!
I know what you were talking about.
Are you curious about my grimoire? Well, look, there it is. It's up there. It's floating over there. See? It's got a bunch of pages and no cover. It's actually very hard to read because of that.
Yeah, I can't staple it either, so I lose track of the damn thing all the time.
You can't put it away anywhere. You can't fold it up.
Yeah.
Because it has no spine, seemingly. It must be like one of those kind of like, those reams that you put on a rack so that the paper flips over constantly. But I guess the implication is like he's got all the spells because there's so many pages and stuff.
Or that it's because it's time magic, there's no beginning or end to it.
Yeah, that's what I took the implication to mean. There's no beginning and no end. Yeah.
That's just because you can't find page 1. There's a finite number of pages.
It might be like the Book of Sand or whatever. Like every time you open the book, it's a different page. No matter what, you could like keep your thumb on it. It's still a completely different page.
What's really important about this, Nick, is that the Wizard King is really, 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 really special. He is really special. He is the most important person in this series, which makes him a terrible, terrible person for the whole theme of this series about, like, you could come from nothing and be the Wizard King. Or you could just be born the best person ever. One of the two of those.
Chris. He's clearly not the most important, powerful wizard. He doesn't have painting magic. Come on. He didn't destroy his own gem because he was so great.
Yeah.
I almost forgot real was a thing, Nick. Why'd you gotta bring that character back?
He's not real. He's Painty McDeerface.
Thought he was little. Painty McDeerface.
Scanlations. So, the Wizard King is like launching this like this is what I'm about thing, and I don't know. There is some sort of you basically hit on it, Chris. There is just a disconnect between what's going on here, and he says, I didn't know whether it was good or bad to be born with time magic and a coverless grimoire.
Yeah, it sounds so fucking horrible. It
sounds horrible. Your life must have been shit.
What a curse I was with the best power in the world.
Oh, God damn it. I broke this vase, and there's nothing I could do to rewind time to... Oh, wait, I could totally do that.
No one knew how hard it was with me and my awesome grimoire and my amazing powers and my great looks and being born a white man. It was such a curse being me.
There's racism in the Clover Kingdom, pretty bad.
I was probably rich too. I mean, who knows? But it was a struggle.
No. I have time magic. I don't need to be rich.
But no one understands the turmoil I have with having that six-sided scar thing on my forehead. That's the thing that truly made me.
I'm the boy who lived.
I'm the boy that lived. The never-ending grimoire.
Fuck, the Wizard King sucked.
How much less interesting Harry Potter would have been if he's like, I have time magic and I'm just born with it.
Someone should do that. They should write Harry Potter. Like, Harry Potter's son is just automatically great at everything. Yeah. Kind of like Boruto.
So, the Wizard King says, being special like that, I had to think about what I might be and what I should do. I asked myself those questions constantly. As I did so, I accumulated results. And when I reached the top, I thought, the path that I've walked is me. I am the Wizard King.
I fucking hate the Wizard King. I've never, like, I don't know why. After this chapter, it's like, I fucking hate you. He's like, I had this deep spiritual journey where I realized I'm me. And when I reached the top, I'm the best. And it's like, of course you fucking were. You were born with time magic, you privileged fuck.
Chris, I think you think you're just jealous, buddy.
I am extremely jealous. This man's like, I got to walk multiple paths, you know, because I could try one so I didn't like it, then reversed it with time magic and tried again.
He was born with time magic. I have weeb magic. You have Captain America magic. It's just deal with the hand you're dealt, man.
That's fine. Captain America still leads the Avengers despite not having many powers because he's a good guy. But this dude's like, yeah, but I was just born the best, so I should probably lead as well.
Well, it's either you lead the world or you become a villain, you know. So pick. I guess he picked the right one, but still, he's not very all that interesting.
So Leash actually casts him in a much more interesting light than the Wizard King himself did, which is we are trying to use the power of the magic stones to commit an act that violates the natural laws of this world. This human has been put here by the world, by fate, in order to stop us, the last bastion of the laws of nature. Which establishes that the Wizard King, in his mind, is not a person. He is a force, which makes him more interesting than if he actually had a personality.
Look at it, yeah.
So, but yeah, Leash is just like, okay, this is why it's important, though, that I have to defeat him. I must defeat him. Yeah, I know. I'll do that thing that I did the last time that I was beaten in my first ever fight in the series.
Leak drain!
I'll do that thing I did after I got my shit handed to me 3 different times.
And then lost anyway after I did it.
Yeah, Leaked would be more of an impressive guy if this was like the first time we saw him fight, and it was like, oh shit, here's the leader of the Midnight Sun. This is gonna be a big fight, but we've already seen him fight like a lot of times before this, and it's just like, eh.
I'm just comprehending that this fight is between a dude who has lost every fight he's ever been in, and a dude who was born the best fucking person ever. And you're just like, they're trying to build this into a tense fight where you don't know who's going to win. And they might have to pull some bullshit, I think, to try to make Leash the... I mean, they might not. The Wizard King could kill him next chapter, and I would completely not be surprised by it. I'd be like, yeah, of course.
Yamcha versus Goku. But this time, Goku, I think I've got this.
Yeah.
Well, you know, guys, it's like how that song from our childhoods goes. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was.
Except the Wizard
King. Wasn't that
King.
fun? Okay, we're done.
Except the Wizard King.
Except I was born that way from the very beginning.
Except I was born that way, so end the song.
I want to be the very best, and thus I was born that way. Dun, dun, dun. I already caught all the Pokemon, so my test is done.
That's who cares?
I love having a Game Shark.
That's like Bill Gates when he's being interviewed. It's just like, so, you know, you're the richest person in the world. Yeah, I was just born to be that way. I don't know what to tell you. That's just how it went.
I was born into a giant pile of money that follows me around and gets more as time goes on.
And then I became the president. So, Leash, with his unsealed magic power, summons a huge Swords of Revealing Light spell. Basically, he's just like, if I can't, all right, we'll try dodging this, Frieza. And he's just going to rain destruction down upon the kingdom instead of actually trying to target the Wizard King himself.
That's going to delay them for like 6 whole turns there. That's.
So, let me present a scenario to you guys.
Sure.
Okay.
In Fairy Tail, in the Fighting Festival arc, when Laxus felt that he was on the cusp of losing, he put this giant ring around the entire city.
Yeah,
and
the Thunder Palace,
and said, this is going to go off and kill everyone in this city. There's 100 of these things. There's no way you could take all of them down. But all of Fairy Tail united together to take them down. How many members of the Magic Knight Brigade do you think are going to have to band together to take out all of these, what look to be billions of lights up in the sky?
I'm going to go with about 6.
I'm going to go with 5.5.
I'm going to say...
Oh, no, wait, hang on.
I'm going to say...
3 of the captains, there's 9 total Magic Knight captains, right?
Yeah, well, you
So
can't include
5,
include William, though.
Because 3 of them are indisposed doing the Royal Knights thing, and then Vengeance is actually Leash, so that leaves 5, so 5.
I'm going to say 2 or 3. Okay. It's just going to be the 3 that they showed. Yami's going to show up and take half of them, and then Charlotte and Mantis Guy will take the other half.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. Fuego Leon will wake up and he'll handle part of it.
That's why I said 3.5. Maybe we'll have he's like half strength, but I can still.
His hand just out the window. He's like, "I'll get part of this."
I took out like 7 guys. We're good.
All right. Yeah. So that chapter happened.
It happened.
I hate the Wizard King so much, man. I can't stand him.
I do like that comparison now that I think about it. Like, he's the last bastion of reality. Like, well, time is like the greatest force of the natural world, and he represents that. So
that works fine. It's that entire speech he gives where, like, I didn't know what to do, and I asked these questions to myself constantly. As I did so, I accumulated results. Like, it's such a pompous and douchey way to say, like, I
contemplated my existence and how it was affecting my mind. I basically did everything that you ever wanted to and more.
Yes, I can basically kick your ass whenever I want to, but, you know, I don't have dinner until 7. I have some time to kill. Okay, let's have a fight.
I have the power of the infinite cosmos at myself and a desire to see this world ended of discrimination. Under my rule, countless people have been discriminated against. In fact, your entire guild is basically made up of people who have been discriminated against. But it's fine. I added them to my little army in the reject group.
Imagine how awesome it would have been if Dr. Manhattan were like, with all of these godlike powers at my disposal, I contemplated the meaning of my existence, and then I decided that I am Dr. Manhattan, and I should just protect the United States of America forever.
Fuck, man. I hate this book.
That's way more lazy writing. I mean, simplistic. I mean, character development.
Oh, Annalise is going to punch me later.
All right. Let's finish up with One Piece, Chapter 894, 1205.
AM.
It sounds 894-1205 sounds like a pop song that nobody knows the meaning of the number to, or something like that.
Or one of the greatest rock songs of all time by the great band Stone Sour, 2020 150. It's like the weirdest thing. I don't know what it means. Hold on, let me look
1010 sounds like a very forgettable and lame number.
I
don't know why.
Oh,
30 150. That's it. 30 150. And they're just like 30 51 remembers 30 150 hates. Now I'm like, what is this?
I like the Pi song personally. 3.14159.
All right. So, it's a very Luffy-focused chapter this time. There's a couple of cutaways here and there, but it's primarily focused on Luffy, his flashback with Raleigh, and his fight with Katakuri. We begin with a couple of pages of him training observation hockey stuff while he was off with Raleigh. It's a very, like Luke and Obi-Wan kind of scene, except that Raleigh is way meaner.
Yeah, he's got his hockey stick.
He puts arm and hockey into a stick and bashes Luffy in the face with it over and over again while telling him, like, "Stop the attack!"
Next to Mihawk's Yoru is the strongest weapon in One Piece, the hockey stick.
I wish that it were actually a hockey stick.
I know, right? That's the joke. It's a hockey stick.
So there is a wheeled Avery attacky.
Nick, I don't tolerate that kind of racism here.
Not racism. That's nationalism.
And in this, the month of Black History Month, to be dropping that, you're disgraceful.
Where's Canadian History Month?
They don't have it. There's no history. It's our history.
So, Luffy, of course, smells food because Raleigh's cooking his dinner, and I was like, "No, ignore that. It's my dinner." And then Luffy's like, "Over there!" He smashes the dinner.
Yeah, mad move, Rayleigh. The words, Luffy, and don't pay attention to food. That's not gonna click.
I actually really do like their exchange as they're training because he's like, "Oh, that hurt, Rowley. Oh, I sense rage." He's like, "Yes, that's the hockey too. Now dodge this." I sense the rage.
I feel your rage as you're slamming your hockey stick down my throat.
Apparently, Luffy befriended the creatures of the forest because they're actually bringing him food.
Yes,
that's kind of adorable.
Yeah, it is. From what we can understand, he worked his way up on the island because these, like the fox and the tiger, have like bandages on them. Like Luffy beat the small animals into submission first, and then worked his way up to those like giant monsters later.
Giant tiger for Straw Hat.
Yeah, giant tiger for Nakama, 2019.
Moosey for Straw Hat.
You were so into Moosey.
I fucking love Moosey to this day.
The thing that Moosey joined one of the crews.
I hope he did. Oh my god, he might be in a Straw Hat in his own way. If he's with Barks of the Mayo, I might lose it. Like he's their chopper.
He's the cover.
That'd be amazing.
Welcome to our mascot / emergency food supply.
Mercy.
Hoosier.
He's great. All right, so Raleigh, just goes over like the color of observation hockey and everything. He says that Luffy seems to be especially attuned to the emotions of living things, which makes me wonder if there are like other like kind of specialties that people with observation hockey might have beyond that.
I was thinking there's like different aspects of it. Like these, like you can sense the feelings of people, but then there's another type where you feel the intention of an attack or see an attack coming without actually seeing it. And then there's katakuri's. I would assume it's just if you get really good at it, you eventually can do any of these things together. I don't like to think them as separate.
But Raleigh establishes, hey, as you're going to fight, amongst the strongest people in the world, you're going to find someone who probably have this ability so strong that they can actually see slightly into the future. And hey, when you come across someone like that, what are you going to do? Because there's no way you're going to be able to actually match that level of ability in just 2 years of training. And Luffy says, I guess it depends on what they're like. Or I was like, well, you mean their personality? Never even thought about it like that. You actually care about that? And Luffy's like, yeah.
Well, yeah, duh. Yeah, you're a strange one, kiddo.
What, because I have human empathy?
Wait, empathy? What is this? I thought you just hit something with a stick hard enough, and that's isn't that what empathy is?
You should find out that Raleigh's just a crazy old man.
Okay, Luffy.
So are you sure that hitting me with this stick over and over will help me get stronger? Yeah.
Yeah, now take off your pants.
All right, Luffy. Today we're going to learn armament hockey. Put your shoe on your head. That's how it's done, kid.
Yep, I'm going to teach you King's hockey, so let me light you on fire, get some gasoline on yourself. There you go.
Put this bag over your head and seal it tight around your neck.
And jump into this pool.
See, the air in the bag will let you breathe underwater.
He's like, that's so cool. Sugoi!
Major senility. Major senility. Roger, it's Raftel. I'm like, that's just a rock, Rayleigh. Oh, right. Sorry. Growing old's a bitch.
We cut to the present. Luffy is now using armament hockey much more smoothly to dodge a bunch of Katakuri's attacks, weaving in and out of them.
You mean observation hockey.
What?
You mean observation hockey. You said armament. You said armament.
How did I say observation armament?
Oh, okay. Sorry. You just said armament hockey instead of that's fine. Okay. It's fine.
They're both using armament hockey, but
they're using hockey.
They're using all the hockeys actually right now.
They're using hockey.
They used armament and armament.
So anyway, the Tampa Bay Lightning are playing against Luffy still can't dodge everything. He does end up having to block a few blows, getting punched in the face a couple of times. Freaking Katakuri launches a goddamn rocket punch at him.
Yeah. You got Red Hawk? I have a rocket punch apparently. Bam!
Luffy takes it, gets knocked through a wall, but he comes storming out and manages to get a good punch in on Katakuri's face. And then we cut away again to where Beige is. And Beige's like, all right, things are going great now. Nobody's willing to sink us because we've got the cake. We're just going to have to lead Prometheus and Mom over to Liqueur Island, dump it there, and then we'll fucking run away and we'll be out of here. But all of a sudden, Chiffon's like, no, we can't do that. Wait, what do you mean? Why not? Why not? Well, because if we just drop her off there, then she's going to be way too close. She'll reach Cacao Island. So we should go over to Fluffy Island instead. No! That's bad.
I can't go back to Fluffy Island after what happened last time.
Also, Big Mom looks very, very, very gaunt.
Oh, yeah. That Brooke and Big Mom fanfic I have might actually come out now.
I do actually like the exchange that happens between Beige and Chiffon. Yeah. Because Beige is like, oh, look at how star she is! And Chiffon says, all right, let's go to Fluffy Island. Exactly. No, wait! I guess that
she might die by the time we get there. I'm actually afraid for Big Mom because I have eventually she's going to reach a breaking point. She's going to be skeleton at some point. I don't know.
That's when she's at her hottest. I'm also into dead chicks.
People actually thought that for a while, like, oh, she's going to get thinner, meaning she's going to get hotter. I'm like,
sure. Have you seen any pictures of Big Mom that make her look at all attractive?
Oh, no, there are. Oda drew her when she was 28, and she looks actually kind of hot.
Hey, guys, beauty takes many forms. Sometimes it happens to be the one riding a flaming sun that has sentience and wants to kill you, all right? It's 2018. Let's open our mind to possibilities.
I'm not willing to die for that level of hotness.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
here you go.
Straw Hats are trying to escape from Smoothie, who is slashing her giant-ass sword, cutting waves through the water. She has gotten really, really big. The crew on the ship are worried that she's going to sink the ship because of how fucking large she has gotten. That's really about all that's going on, honestly. Oh, except the chopper seems to be way, way, way into how cool it is now.
Yeah. I also love how Smoothie apparently did a Getsuga 10 show. That was cool.
Or a wind scar. Depends on what
the same anime energy crescent wave thing attack.
It's like a Kamehameha that comes out of a sword. Yeah. Sanji and Pudding are flying off on Rabian, and Sanji says that, yeah, Luffy's going to show up right in between an army and a fleet, so I'm going to save my captain. Pudding is embarrassed to be anywhere near him because she's Pudding. I like how she says, they're going to think we're husband and wife, and then her little slime friend is like, who is? What are you talking? Yes, they're going to think you're husband and wife.
Well, the Jelly was still a thing. Nitro the Jelly, best character ever. He's a piece of slime that wears a hat.
Ooh, Nick, and then we do the thing that you love about this arc so much, where they introduce 29 different kids of the Charlotte family, all in a quick succession.
At least Oda's being consistent with this. He's like, hey, she has fucking 85 kids. Well, here you go. I'm actually going to try to introduce all of them.
I also like how they established that there are 10 of them that are decuplets. Oh my god!
Oh, that must have been.
She
painful.
deserves to be one of the 4 just because of that. Jesus Christ! Also, we get to see the former member of the Sweet Four generals.
Yeah, Snack.
Or what little of him you can actually see around that giant scarf.
Some people have hypothesized he was a Tontara because they refuse to believe his head is that small. He's like a Tontara in a mech suit.
Well, I like how we even see him saying something like "worst generation."
Worst generation. I think he's traumatized, and he's just like fucking worst generation.
It might be like one of the worst generation members did something to him. That's why he's a former member.
No. It was a Rouge. A Rouge defeated him.
Oh,
that's why he became an ex-fourth. He's become an ex-Sweet Commander. Well, I thought he was dead, to be honest with you.
Oh, I didn't even remember. Did this guy show up before?
They established that he was defeated, and so Mom had to well, gotta take vengeance on you.
It was shortly before Luffy and everybody showed up on Whole Cake, because I think Cracker's the one that mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His precious little brother.
Aw.
We reached 12:05, which is roughly an hour before the meeting that they're supposed to have. Katakuri, it's just like, is that all you've got? Kind of challenge. And then he stops and pauses, and it just says, yes, I accept. And Louis says, it's time to end this. And Katakuri's like, yeah, it is, isn't it? And Luffy declares as he bites into his arm, Gear 4 Snake
Man! Yeah.
I really like the way that this short little scene plays out, because seeing the way that Katakuri has acted the entire time, he's always like, I can see your moves coming, I can stop them. Every now and then he'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see how that might work. I can see what you're going for. And I was just kind of like, oh, I'm going to lose.
There have been so many people that have analyzed this conversation with Katakuri and Luffy in the last week because of the way they're talking, as if because they could both see the future now. So they're having a conversation that we're not following. People are saying basically the gist of it is Luffy says, I have an attack that you won't be able to, even with your observation, you won't be able to stop. And Katakuri's like, yeah, I know. And he's like, so this will end it? Yeah. Okay, let's go do this. And then that's where it ends.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm getting the impression between this and his, Kong thing that probably trading on an island full of animals gave Luffy some ideas of what his Gear 4 should do.
Yeah, either I like the fact that he put more thought into Gear 4 rather than second or third. It has different subforms like Tank Man, Snake Man. There might be another one. I mean, there's been so many people. People have said it breaks it up like Snake Man's good at observation, Tank Man armament, and there might be another one for Conquerors, and Bound Man is sort of like a balance.
I thought when he said Snake Man, he was insulting Katakuri, like it was his name for him, because Katakuri has snake fangs.
Right.
So I didn't even pay attention enough to think that was him.
He's a pelican eel, Chris.
That is true, but Luffy's dumb, and he would think that he's a snake because he has snake fangs.
Luffy's not dumb. He's
simple.
Special. Luffy is special, Chris. But yeah, I'm really pumped for the next chapter. And Oda didn't give us a break. He was nice enough to not like, Snake Man! See you in 3 weeks, guys.
Yeah.
You fucker.
Because that happened when he went Gear 4th originally against Manga. Gear 4! See you in 2 weeks.
No, it's a very cool chapter. I
liked it. It was very, very high octane.
I've said this many times in the past, so I want to reiterate it. Oda is probably the best mangaka, maybe ever, when it comes to writing chaos. When there's so many things happening, and he just cuts around to all of them and just creates that suspense as you're looking around to all these things that are moving towards this crazy climax. With Smoothie chasing them, Big Mom approaching up on Beige. Sanji being confident about saving Luffy, this fight having its own thing, and just the little details that he spreads around, including Snack in there, mentioning all these different members of the family, just coloring the world. Oda's just so great at doing that. I know some people have said that they thought One Piece has been not at its best in recent memories. I know some people weren't even crazy about Dressrosa, but I think this fight with Katakuri is easily on par with, I think, any moment in One Piece that's been my favorite. Like, this is
as someone that pays mind to the community and stuff, like, people are losing their shit over Katakuri. They love him as a villain. They think he's really deep. There's even people out there that are thinking, like, okay, Katakuri's going to help Luffy get away, and he's going to pal around with the Straw Hats for a little while. I don't know
about that.
I don't know about that, but yeah, he's a cool villain, if nothing else. So we're an antagonist for Luffy here.
Yeah, I just think this has been such a fantastic period in this series. And the Whole Cake Island maybe didn't start off on the greatest, strongest, crazy, interesting notes, and maybe there were some small divots there. But I think even just building up to this point has just been so satisfying and cool.
Yeah. I can dig it.
All right. Well, then that is going to do it for this week's edition of Weekly Manga Recap. So
No
I think
Hunter x Hunter?
No, we don't talk Hunter x Hunter.
We don't talk about Hunter x Hunter.
It's not on hiatus again? Did it come? I know it came back. It's been at least 3 weeks.
Back. It's been back for like 3 weeks now, I think.
I think that like next week is when I'm betting on it being like, we're going on hiatus again.
We're going on hiatus again.
At the very least.
It's been so many times when it's just like, I'm back for a month, bye.
Well, it's been more consistent, at least in coming back. It's now like it'll be gone for 2 months and then it'll come back or whatever. I still don't know where. Like I try to like
because it came back last summer and Togashi's like, my back is finally fixed. More manga. Oh, by the way, we're gonna go on another hiatus, but we're coming back in January again.
Quick.
This is from something unrelated, but I'm better. I'm sure.
Yeah, he's like, I got an advanced copy of Monster Hunter World, and I mean, Godzilla. Bye, click.
Gojira! All right.
Gojira attacked only my studio and none of the others.
And I'm fine. It's just
it keeps fucking happening every single time.
So I'm calling in Mothra. We're gonna take care of this guy.
I write 3 chapters and
he actually doesn't destroy my studio. He just kind of like picks it up and moves it.
It's very inconvenient. You guys understand, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's name our favorites for this week then. Favorite chapter and MVP. I am naming my favorite chapter is Dr. Stone. I thought that it was a great conclusion to this first part, and I really liked the kind of conclusion of this emotional connection between them. It was a very satisfying little wrap up to the story that was told about Byakuya, but also of the story of Senku getting this village. It's all that is all resolved now, and we're going to move on to other stuff. So.
Well, I'm not going to be a rude little piggy and go before our guests. So, Tekking, what was your favorite chapter?
I was all tossed up between Dr. Stone and One Piece, but with just the emotional power that it had, and it's like the end of one arc and bridging to another, I got to go with Dr. Stone as well. But my MVP, I'm going to go with Luffy, because I just can't get over it. Snake Man! I can't get it over. Okay, so.
If it turns out to be lame, you're going to be so disappointed.
I've full disclosure, spoilers. I've already seen it. I'm not going to go any further than that, but I've already seen it. I'm
going to give my chapter of the week to One Piece. Actually, it's a really strong week for all the series in here. But this chapter of One Piece, this reminded me of all those points when I was reading One Piece and like Luffy versus Lucci, or those moments in Alabasta of like chasing after Crocodile. Just that chaos that's just so perfectly done and creating that suspense. I absolutely loved it. So I'm giving it to One Piece.
I am also going to go for Luffy. I'm not doing it for the Snake Man thing, though. I just really like the conversation that they have at the beginning, the little bits of the train with Raleigh.
Yeah.
And also the comment where he tells the animals who are brought food, he's like, nope, not going to eat because Raleigh didn't tell me I could eat.
Yeah.
Also, I get the impression that maybe they ate one of them later. I'm not sure.
Well, the animals are bringing other animals to Luffy, so it's like...
I know, but it's like, I don't know.
I can't eat you because you're my friends, but...
It seemed like you'd be delicious, though.
Deep fried. It's like in a cartoon where they all just appear as like giant blobs of meat to Luffy. Like
dancing steaks.
Yeah.
I'm going to give my MVP, by the way, to Gentle. I really like Gentle's introduction.
Gentle. Yeah, the style. Present Mike's older brother with the elegance.
It does kind of look like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've seen the comparison, yeah. That's my older brother! He left my radio show in a huff a few years ago. Now he's trying to be...
saying that audio was dead and video was where it was at.
Yeah! That would be funny if that totally turned out to be the way it is. Yeah.
All right, that is going to do it for Weekly Manga Recap.
Thanks for having me on again, guys.
Thank you so much, Tekking. It's fun having you back on the show.
Mm-hmm.
You could, if you guys want to check out Tekking stuff, he's got his own YouTube channel, Tekking101, and you can also follow him on Twitter, which is basically there for him to say, I put up a new video. So.
Yeah. No, I've been using it more recently. I've been using
a couple of things that you've been talking about.
I post random things like blueberry Pop-Tarts are the most inferior kind of Pop-Tart, which is true, obviously.
No. It's cherry. It's cherry.
I love blueberry Pop-Tarts. They're amazing.
Oh, sorry, I can't come on the podcast anymore. Then I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No. As the Prince of Pop-Tarts, I decree that this opinion is still valid, so I will allow it.
All right, King of Pop-Tarts.
I'm making my Pop-Tart crown.
I'm gonna make you a crown out of Pop-Tarts.
You don't make it out of Pop-Tarts. I'll just eat it.
Well, they won't be brown sugar cinnamon, so you won't want to eat them.
Yeah, I tried cinnamon roll.
Do that because it'll go bad and it will attract ants.
No, I'll make it out of a special lacquer, and you'll be fine.
No.
I'll laminate all the Pop-Tarts.
Clear coat the fucking Pop-Tart, and then make it a...
If you're going to make a Pop-Tart crown, make it out of a couple of boxes, okay?
Yeah, cut out the various types of Pop-Tarts and just make a crown. Someone on Etsy needs to sell.
Don't make it a spoilable thing, or I will just throw it away, Chris.
All right, fine. Never mind. I'm just gonna buy all the Jackie Chan talismans instead. I've decided a new purpose for this money I was gonna use to your crown. I
still wish they would sell those damn things. Ever since I was 10.
They have them on Etsy.
I know, but I wanna fly
not popular enough to make them or something.
Yeah, probably.
You made it to 5 seasons though.
Yeah, nostalgia. On Kids WB. I didn't Cubics have 3?
Nostalgia alone, if they came out with a mass-produced set, there was a shit ton of fans that would buy them. I guarantee it. Yeah. All right.
Anyway, that's it for Weekly Manga Recap. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. We record the show generally at about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, currently on Thursdays, here on smashcast.tv/RoloT and twitch.tv/RoloT. If you want to stay updated on when exactly we're going to do the show in case something comes up, you can follow the official podcast Twitter account at WMR Podcast, as well as your two hosts at RoloT, at Nick F. Time. And of course, Matt is at Tekking101.
Okay.
If you want to provide feedback to the show, if you want to ask us questions for our Q&A episodes, if you want to suggest a future manga for us to read as a recommendation, you can send that stuff via email to weeklymangarecap@yahoo.com. Also, be sure to check out our Patreon if you want to support us. We want to thank everyone who does currently do so. As we keep on bringing up, we did the Christmas special in whatever month it was that we actually got out recently for champion level subscribers, and your support allows us to create all sorts of fun stuff like that for the show. We have to beat the woodworkers, so leave a comment and rating on iTunes.
Out of context, such a weird statement.
We must defeat the woodworkers, the evil bastards.
Where's my sword?
Yeah.
Okay.
Better not be a wooden sword.
No, it's Zoro's Yubashiri.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks really nice.
Yeah, I needed them for a video. I just have it up here. It's the one that broke. It was the cool one, though.
Aw.
Yeah.
And what was the last thing? Right.
Do you know the way?
Steve Mann and
Infamous. You're like, that guy. I spoke to him a week ago, but whatever.
Just that guy.
That dude who made the fucking entire overlay that you're seeing here in 24 hours because I didn't contact him until the last minute.
I like that guy. I don't know who that guy is, but I like that guy. Stand-up guy.
I think that's it then.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we want to go out on a joke? Any hilarious, witty commentary that will carry us on for years to come?
Trying to think of a really bad joke I know right now. What concert costs 45 cents to get into?
Nickelback.
50 Cent featuring Nickelback.
Okay.
I told that joke to a convict once as she was being transported to prison, and she laughed. So I like to think that was the last laugh she got before she went to prison.
Hang on a sec. There's a whole story here.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.